Okay. All right, I'm going live.
You're listening to Eagle 102 KJFM Louisiana Bowling Green, 102.1 on your dial. KJFM Radio, Eagle 102. Area high school football is on the air. Every week, Eagle 102 brings you the best of area high school sports. On air at 102.1, online at kjfmradio.com, and on the KJFM Radio app. Now to the field for high school football on your area sports leader, KJFM Radio.
And welcome to Week 7 of high school football. We're at Bowling Green High School tonight, and the Mark Twain Tigers are in town. The 6-0 conference-leading Bobcats looking to extend their 6-game winning streak tonight and try and put another nail in the coffin of the EMO Commerce. We've got a whole Monday Night Football crew here tonight. Chris Grody's alongside as usual. Stacy Martin's with us, and we've got Matt Ingram up here as well.
Yeah.
And if you'd seen the Chinese fire drill we just went through, you wouldn't believe it. But
thank you, Matty, for all the help.
We're glad to have you with us, and let's get right into it since we're a little bit behind schedule, guys. Bowling Green comes in 6-0, and we were talking a little bit off the air. Last time I saw them was in the first game of the year. Maybe they had a few things to work out. We think they've got most of it figured out now.
Yeah, they certainly had some offensive line issues first, and we've seen some adjustments, some changes, and some swaps in there, and you've seen that offensive line getting strong. And then on the defensive side of the ball, any of the adjustments they've made, they've had athletes step up each week and make big game plays each week. You know, Drew Dalton being kind of the big game player on defense a couple of weeks ago at Montgomery County.
Well, that's actually good to have because, you know, going forward, whenever teams prep for Bowling Green, they can't zone in on one guy. You have the whole entire team stepping up, doing what they got to do to help get the win. So I'm looking forward to see who's going to step up tonight and who's going to be the next guy.
Well, as we all know, they were the nation's highest scoring high school football team last year, and people thought they had a lot of losses, and with graduation, 18 kids if I'm not mistaken, but they averaged right almost 70 points a game last year. But this year, guys, they're at 61.3, so they're not too far behind last year's performance.
I've had a lot of people in my work travels that are like, "Oh, Bowling Green's going to be terrible this year." Oh, Bowling Green's. It's like, no, yeah, they graduated a lot of kids, but the junior class behind, which is now the senior class, the sophomore class, which is now the junior class, those kids are bringing up a lot of talent, and we've even got some kids that are contributing to this team from the sophomore level. Jakari Clark has played the nose tackle all season long and done a great job.
Well, it's good. We talked about a little bit about this the first game of the year. It's always good when you're reloading, rather than rebuilding, and that's where this program is right now, is in the rebuild. So, are we ready to do a commercial yet? We are. So let's take a break. The Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show. We'll be back with the keys to the game after this on Eagle.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Brian and Heather White with White Insurance Agency, DG Firearms, and Hayden's Motorsports Center.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly.
Don't have time to stop by the bank? That's not a problem if you're a customer of People's Bank and Trust. With our mobile and online banking service, you can now bank from anywhere. Deposit checks, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust app today. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC.
Home Health and Hospice. Our agency is currently looking to hire multiple positions: RNs, LPNs, CNAs, physical therapist assistants, and breastfeeding peer counselor, all from full-time to part-time to contracted. Please visit our website at www.whitecountyhealth.org for more information and to apply online.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana, and let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. Call me and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
It's time now for the Eagle 102 pregame show, sponsored by Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Welcome back to Bowling Green High School. Before we get too far into it, we want to tell you that the Louisiana Bulldogs are in Montgomery County with Rodney, Kelly, and Corey, and that game can be listened to on 102.1, and I'm guessing on 97.5 as well, BBA. And, of course, it'll be on video as well. So if you want to keep up with that game tonight, put that on the radio, and you can watch us here at Bowling Green High School. So, guys, you know, the challenge is huge. Bowling Green 6-0. Mark Twain comes in at 1-5, getting their first win last week at Louisiana, and against a Louisiana team that was mentally other places, but for another story. But tonight, you told me, Chris, that the Mark Twain coach says they're ready, and they better be.
Yeah, they better be. We talk about this every week with Bowling Green, and it just seems like since the beginning of the football season last year, every game they get a little bit better. They get a little bit better. They get a little more confident. And like Strassen said earlier, I don't really know how as an opposing coach you prepare for a team that every week has a new step-out player, right? They've got Blaine Bryant. They've got Dane Dunn. They've got Jace Eskew. Drew Dalton had a massive game. Dude had a pretty good game last week as in that tight end position. So when they have that many weapons, what do you do to prepare your team for that? And it has to be difficult.
And, of course, Stason, the key for Montgomery County, Mark Twain, is that they got
putting up 61 points a game. You cannot give them any more opportunities than they already have to put up points. I know it's easier said than done, but you're playing against a team that puts up 61 averages, I should say 61 a game. You need to control that clock. You need to put the game, in your hands. Don't let Bowling Green control the game.
Mark Twain averages 18 points a game. They're giving up 33.8. Bowling Green's defense only giving up 16.8. So if you look at the numbers on paper anyway, they would favor the Bobcats, and we fully expect the Bobcats to be on all 8 cylinders, I guess, tonight.
Well, Bowling Green is always susceptible to a big play. You know, whether it's a blitz from the defensive safety, the defensive back area, or the DBs get lost in a deep pass coverage. So if you are a deep, big play team, that's kind of my suggestion to these other teams that are looking to play Bowling Green is see how you can spread the ball out downfield, because that all of those scores that you talk about, all of them came on 30 yards or more plays from scrimmage on those other teams.
We don't want to look past tonight because you got to play them, but next week Bowling Green travels to Wright City and what might be a team that can at least put up some resistance. They've got a couple of talented football players. They're 4-2 on the season. Then, of course, Bowling Green will finish with North Callaway here at home. And then they get into the district. The district's quite a different breed of cat this year, as Bowling Green's in Class 2 and Monroe City is in Class 2, as is South Shelby. And South Shelby's 6-0. And, I think, again, you got to play the games, but I think that's the game most people with football minds are looking for here in about, 6 weeks, 5 weeks?
Yeah, I think you're right. South Shelby's playing good football. Partners, guys that work with me around the state have played them in different elements of football, different days, and
they're a team that can throw it.
Yeah,
can extend the field. So that might play into what you just talked about. Maybe one of Bowling Green's weaknesses right now that they've got to clean up. Let's take another break, and we'll be back with more of the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show after this on Eagle 102.
You want a
Game
chair?
of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by Lynn's Heritage House, Bill Allen Auction Services, and Knight Equipment Company.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. Call me and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
This is Tara Grody, and People's Savings Bank is excited to announce the Bobcat debit card. People's Savings Bank believes in giving back to the communities we serve, and that begins with the school district. Every time you use your Bobcat debit card as a credit, People's Savings Bank will give the school district 5 cents. That may not sound like a lot of money, but since starting this program 6 years ago, PSB has been able to give back over $120,000. Open an account online at ourpsb.com or stop by our branch. We are the one with a bright blue roof. Start earning the Bowling Green School District money today just by using your debit card. Member FDIC.
The Eagle 102 starting lineups on KJFM are brought to you by Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy.
Welcome back to Bowling Green. The band's on the field waiting for the arrival of the Bobcats. Mark Twain's back in the locker room as well, but we're going to go ahead and give you the starting lineups.
The defense for the Mark Twain Tigers, starting at defensive back, is Aiden Waters. It's a senior. At defensive back, a junior, Jack Dotson. At linebacker, Danny Powell is a sophomore. At defensive back, Landon Armour is also a sophomore. Defensive back, Eli Tobin is a junior defensive back, Caden Miller. A linebacker senior, Hunter Miller. A junior linebacker, Jacob Dotson. A junior defensive lineman, Braden Moss. A senior defensive lineman, White Evans. And a senior defensive lineman, Chandler Miller, for your Mark Twain Tigers. The offense for your Bowling Green Bobcat, at running back, senior Blaine Bryant. At the number 2 running back, a junior Dane Dunn. At tight end, a sophomore Oliver Niemeyer. Your quarterback, a sophomore Jace Eskew. Wide receiver, a senior Zach Gibson. At the other tight end is a junior Aiden Grody. At offensive line, a senior Caden Penrod. Offensive line, a senior Harrison Hunt. Offensive line, a senior Lucas Jennings. At offensive line, a junior Parker Jones. And at offensive line, a junior Anderson Hunt.
Mark Epperson's the head coach for the Mark Twain Tigers. Mark St. Clair is the Hall of Fame head coach here for Bowling Green. Let's tell you about Mark Twain a little bit just to give you an idea. They only have about 5 guys that touch the ball a lot. Aiden Waters is their main guy. He's rushed the ball for 130 yards, received for 57, and he's scored 3 touchdowns. The quarterback's Nolan Epperson. He's 25 for 52 for 373 yards, 4 TDs, but he's thrown 3 interceptions. Jack Dotson will get in the mix from the ground. He's their leading rusher on the ground with 69 carries and 379 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Caden Miller, he's the favorite receiver of Epperson, as he's caught 6 passes for 132 yards and a touchdown. Let's tell you about other games around the area. As we mentioned, Bowling Green, or I should say Louisiana, is at Montgomery County tonight in another EMO conference matchup, and we have that on air for you and online. Van Far is at home tonight against Crystal City. They got their first win of the season against North Callaway. They're trying to make it 2 in a row tonight against a game that is winnable for them against Crystal City. Pittsfield is on the road tonight looking for their first win of the season at Auburn, and Pleasant Hill Western is at home against Calhoun Brussels, and I'm guessing that's a pretty big rivalry, Stacey? Yeah.
Yep, it's pretty big.
That used to be Hardin Calhoun?
That is correct.
Okay, so I'm showing my age. The Bowling Green Bobcats softball team, they were in action this afternoon. I went over and watched that. The Troy Trojans were in town. Troy, one of the top 2 ranked teams in the biggest class in Missouri, and the second time Bowling Green has played them this year. They lost 5-1 earlier in the year in the tournament at Troy. And tonight, Troy came out on top 6-2. But, we talked about Bowling Green's football team starting here and being here at district time. Bowling Green softball is kind of the same way. They've played some really tough teams here in the last couple of weeks trying to get fine-tuned for districts.
Yeah, they're still playing really good softball. I mean, given the loss, but those girls are certainly working their tails off to be a good team.
And, of course, they've got to go north of their district as well to South Shelby, and Highland is in their district, who is the number 1 ranked team in the state. So things don't get much easier for the Lady Cats as the season rolls on. Softball season is just about over with, actually. I think a couple games early next week, and they'll be in districts. And as we mentioned, we've still got 2 more weeks of regular season football after tonight, and then district football will start as well. That's going to do it for the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show. We'll be back with the opening kick after this on Eagle 102.
By Custom Work Salon and Tanning, the Mercantile Bank, and Pepsi.
Kylie Mills, the CEO of Pike County Memorial Hospital. You've heard it from your friends, family, and even neighbors. They choose Pike County Memorial Hospital. Quality care from quality people. Pike County Memorial Hospital.
Royal Banks is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A Royal Bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks bring experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal opportunity lender.
Cellular & Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Now, a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular & Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
From the classic cheesesteak and rich crab cakes, a taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A taste of Philly. Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast area, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
Well, we have about 5 minutes still before kickoff. You guys got any jokes to tell?
Knock, knock. No, I don't have one.
A couple other games around that we'll try and keep track of for you. North Shelby is on the road at St. Paul in Concordia. Hannibal, that's a big game, plays Mobley at Mobley. Mobley's undefeated this year. As mentioned, Pleasant Hill at home against Hardin Calhoun, or Calhoun Brussels, I think it's called now. Quincy Notre Dame's at St. Teresa in Decatur. Quincy High is on the road. They're undefeated at Sterling in Sterling, Illinois. Monroe City hosts Brookfield. Highland will host Centralia. Clark County hosts Palmyra. South Shelby, future possible opponent for Bowling Green. They are at Macon tonight. Paris hosts Bramer. And Troy Buchanan is on the road at Howe North.
Jim, we have no Mark Froelich tonight, but we have the little Froelich.
Oh, she came in and said hi.
She's here to.
Is it cold out there? Will it make you feel any better if you knew we are warm?
Yes, say yes. Makes you feel.
Think of us as your father, and you want your father to be warm. So you want us to.
Yeah, that's probably true. Perfectly warm is what he is.
Yeah, he's warm. He's warm as well. So those are the games around tonight, and as I mentioned, we'll try and keep track of the scores for you. I think they're going to send us some stuff from the station. The captains are on the field. The head coaches are heading back to the sideline. Mark St. Clair on his sprint, if you want to call it that. And they throw the coin, and let's see what happens here. They're talking to Bowling Green. Looks like they may have won the toss.
I like their helmets are off. So
that's a good sign. And they're going to spin around, and Mark Twain will get the ball. He didn't tell us whether Bowling Green won or not deferred. It doesn't matter. Mark Twain will have it to start. Mark Twain's in their road white jerseys, blue numbers with blue pants, and the white helmet with the blue MT. They got a pretty cool logo on theirs. Bowling Green in their home blacks with the red numbers, white trim, and their black helmets with the red and white Bobcat on both sides.
Wasn't it you a few years ago we were discussing helmets and you said you liked the BG and then Bowling Green came out the year after with the BG on their helmet?
Yeah.
Somebody's listening for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I wish they'd put a little color in that logo because I think last year in the middle of the field, or 2 years ago maybe, they had that colored in black and red, kind of similar to what the uniforms are. Now it's just the outline or the hologram, if you will.
Well, now that you just said it, it's going to happen next year.
Yeah, right. I pull a lot of weight around here. You bet I do.
Everybody's got budget cutbacks, Jim.
It's that extra $8.95 can of paint that gets you in trouble all the time.
I've lined soccer fields, not football fields, but I know how much paint it takes to do that. It's unbelievable.
It does take a lot. So Bowling Green will kick it away, moving from our right to our left here in this first quarter. I guess you know that since we're watching. I'm so used to doing it on radio. I don't have to tell you all those kind of things, do I? You can see what they look like and what they're wearing. And they're about ready to kick it away. Looks like, is that Neil Rainey kicking it away? No.
Easton Orff.
Easton Orff kicks it off. It's a short kick, bounces at the 18. It's picked up across the 25, and that'll be about it for Mark Twain, maybe to the 26. And that's where they'll take over on their first series of downs. That's the one thing about these Bowling Green jerseys. I don't know if you agree or not. You've had them all year. They're hard to see the numbers, especially when it gets dark.
And I think it's that it's almost the white you think would help you see it better, but it almost blurs it out to me. But right. I agree with you. I can see the sidelines just fine, Jim.
Epperson is at quarterback. They come out in the spread, 5 receivers, and they'll bring Dotson in motion. He'll get behind the quarterback now, and they'll hand it off, a flag on the play. He goes up the gut, not much running room, maybe a couple. Let's check the flag. Where were you? The lights went out, huh? Makes it easier to see. They're still talking about the first flag on the first play. I'm going to guess it's probably an offsides or a motion. Looks like Bowling Green's moving back. So it'll be, offsides. On Bowling Green, first play of the game. That's got to make Coach Mark St. Clair thrilled. Cards, however, interestingly enough. But anyway, on first down, once again, they hand it off up the middle again to Dotson. And not a whole lot of running room there either. They're going to have a tough time running up the middle.
Yeah, that's so Bowling Green's linebacker core is really strong, first of all. And then like we talked about Jakari Clark in the middle of the football field as a sophomore, he's done really well and been a huge addition to this team this year.
Second and about 4, maybe 5 for Mark Twain. They'll bring Waters in motion, and now we've got a whistle and a dead ball flag before the snap, pre-snap penalty, and that one's going to be procedure on Mark Twain. So we're off to a slow start, if you will.
I took all my sinus medicine, but you're going to have to listen to me sniffle all night. I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right.
Is there a sniffle mute?
It's that time of year, right?
Yes.
It's that time of year. Yeah, we don't have any sneeze buttons anymore, do we?
No. They used to have one? Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, cough buttons or whatever they call them, yeah. So Mark Twain goes on 2nd and 10, inside reverse that time to Miller. And not a whole lot of running room for him either. Bowling Green doesn't give up much on the ground, as Chris mentioned in the pregame there. If they've got an Achilles heel, it's the deep ball maybe.
And they've improved that this year, Jim. It's still a little bit of an Achilles heel, but they have improved that this year on the defense, which I'm glad to see.
And they're putting about, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the box right now as they come out in the spread, twins to the right and twins to the left. Epperson rolls and throws across the middle. Oh, almost picked off right through the hands of the safety.
Drew Dalton.
And it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, that Epperson in the shotgun formation just threw that quick slant, and he threw it a bit high, and it looked like Drew was working his way in to make the tackle, but the ball hit him just in the hands and couldn't hang on to it.
So they'll kick it away, and Walker Chandler will go back deep for Bowling Green. Miller to kick it away. There are two Millers, by the way. And this is Hunter Miller, Hunter and Coden. Good rush, but a line drive kick. They'll kick it away, and it'll go out of bounds at about the Bowling Green 35, roughly. We'll have to see where they mark it. And Bowling Green will have it for their first series. I think we can expect the early ground and pound, which is kind of Mark St. Clair's MO, trademark. Even going back to his, I don't know how much you saw him play when he coached at Hannibal. My wife's from Hannibal, so I saw him play a lot.
Did your wife play football?
No,
Oh,
good
okay.
Lord. She's going to kick you in the shins next time she sees you. Off left tackle. Looks like Bryant that time on the first carry for Bowling Green. He'll pick up about 5. So, yeah, they like to play. He likes to play smash mouth football, and I expect we'll see that until Mark Twain starts playing for it, and then they'll put it up.
I heard a story, Mark Sinclair, one time where a team told the referee a fake play they were going to do. The ref asked Coach Sinclair, he said, I ain't changed anything in 24 years. I'm not changing tonight.
Rolling out his SQ to the right. He gets rid of it, and it's caught on the far sideline right at the
Oliver Niemeyer.
Yard to gain. Niemeyer, you do have good eyesight to that far sideline.
I just know these kids.
Well, that's true. Just shy. When you have a son playing, it's a lot easier to know him, isn't it?
It is. It is.
So it'll be just shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the 49-yard line of Bowling Green. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, out of the I formation. Not a lot of running room for Bryant, but he'll get the first down.
Yeah, Sideshow got that ball and just dove into the middle there. And like you said, just not much for him, but gained the first down for sure.
They are a quick strike football team. They have a number of players that can make big plays in a hurry. And Dane Dunn's been a pleasant surprise this year, hasn't he?
Yes, Dane's a junior and very talented at the football
They'll
game.
pitch it to Bryant. He'll try and get around the left corner. Not much room there. He'll pick up some positive yards. Actually, about 7, it looks like.
Had some pretty good lead blockers, but he cut back. He got a Tiger out in front of him, had to cut back a little bit, and his cutback led him right into, 4 or 5 other Tigers for the tackle?
Mark Twain did a good job of stringing that out and got the corner turned so he couldn't get around the end. But still, a gain of 7, and 2nd and 3. As the clock rolls, 8:30 to play here in the first, no score. Probably the longest it's taken Bowling Green to score in the first quarter all year. And they run the option, and it's to Bryant, the second guy through. And he'll have the first down. Mark Twain with, about 9 guys in the box that time?
Well, and I'm surprised they didn't get a flag called against them, honestly, because they had a whole lot of motion moving there on the defensive line, almost like they weren't ready, like they were in a shift or something, and they snapped the ball in the middle of that shift.
Looks like they're playing a 5-2 defense.
Which is probably good against this team.
A little misdirection that time, and they get it to
That's a touchdown.
Bryant, and he's going to go. You called it from 37 yards out, 38, I guess we'll call it. Blaine Bryant for the first touchdown of the game. We told you they've got quick strike capability, and if he and Dunn find some green grass, they will turn on the jets, and that's exactly what he did there for the touchdown for Bowling Green.
Well, we've talked a lot about him being a patient running back, and you kind of saw it there where he stretched this play out and waited for the hole to develop and then used his speed to his advantage to just outrun everybody through that hole.
Out of the power I going for 2. Bryant off right tackle. He's in easily for the score, and just like that, Bowling Green leads it 8-0. 8 minutes exactly to play in the first quarter. You're listening to KJFM, WBBA Sports on Eagle 102.
With Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by PJ's Salon, Noah Builders, and Reed Insurance Agency.
When you're looking for a taste of Italy in Pike County, visit Gambino's Eatery in Louisiana, just a block from the riverfront on 3rd and Georgia. Create your own pasta dish.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, and Community State Bank of Missouri.
Well, a 38-yard touchdown run by Blaine Bryant, and Bowling Green on top, and they're ready to kick it away again. East to North kicks it, and a running catch by Wilson from the backside, and he gets out across the 30, and that's where he'll be knocked down, and they'll take over Miller. I said Wilson, and that's where Mark Twain will take over.
I'm running the camera. I probably should follow the ball, right?
Well, I got to recheck myself. I think it was number 20, Eli Tobin, had the football. Nonetheless, pretty good field position for Mark Twain as they have it on their own 31-yard line. Let's see if they can do something a little different on offense this second series. Bring Miller in motion. They fake the handoff, swing it out to him on a little wheel route, and not a whole lot going on
forward. There we go.
He got hit forward, hit backwards.
Yeah.
That didn't feel very good. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, kind of a neat play. They brought a guy in motion and then took him back in motion to the side he came from, and then threw a wheel route or a screen pass to him almost, and Bowling Green did a really good job of covering that misdirection pass on the field.
Yeah, and their motion guy, they're having him run a loop-de-loop, as you can see on your TV or computer.
That's the technical term?
I guess. Well, that's the
deep ball
Jim Ross term. And there's a little pass interference as intended for the wide receiver, Aiden Waters. And pass interference will be called at about the 50-yard line, roughly. The flag's at the 44, but contact was way back at the 50. And that's not a spot foul in high school football like it is in the pros. So they'll mark off 15 yards, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for Mark Twain.
Defending on that play for Bowling Green was Tanner McGaw. He got turned around a little bit and had contact before the ball was to the receiver, which is where the pass interference came from.
So a little positive action for Mark Twain here midway through this first quarter. Bowling Green leads it 8-0. Out of the shotgun, Epperson hands it off to Dotson. Not a lot of running room there again. We've mentioned it before. Up the middle is rough going.
It looks like I can't see. Bryson Brandenberger from his middle linebacker position or up linebacker position is who was in the backfield to make that tackle.
No gain on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 10. Jim Ross, Chris Grody, Stason Martin, and Maddie Ingram here with you tonight from Bowling Green. Glad to have you with us. On 2nd down, out of the shotgun once again, Dotson to the left of Epperson. There's that loop-de-loop I was telling you about.
Yeah, that was a perfect – oh, man.
Nothing doing there.
Yeah.
Good pursuit that time. Is actually in the game to run that time was number 20, Eli Tobin. He'll lose about 5.
It looked like Neil Rainey and Rowan Milosevic for the Bowling Green Bobcats in on that tackle. Just real tough pressure up front and nowhere for the ball to go. The running back got the ball and got a Bobcat almost at the same time.
Yeah, and Rainey's been a kid that's really come on this year.
Yeah, he had a couple weeks ago, had a great game right here at home, and I harassed him a little bit last year about not playing, and I sure am glad to see him play this year. Yeah, and by a little bit, I mean a lot.
That makes it even more impressive they didn't play last year.
Yeah.
On 3rd and 15 from their own 42. Looked like the receiver almost jumped. They'll throw an out pattern. It's way underthrown as the receiver was Coden Miller, and he slipped and fell. Maybe a little dew. Yeah, if you haven't been outside today, it was shortened T-shirt weather 2 days ago, and it was parka weather at the softball game this afternoon.
It was a little chilly. It was weird, too, because it started out this morning really decent and then got colder as the day went on.
And when that wind started blowing this afternoon, woo-wee. So they'll have to punt it away, will the Tigers. Hunter Miller will do the honors. And he'll get it away end over end, and it'll fall short, and it'll be picked up on the far sideline, and they're going to run with it.
He's a wild man.
Up the sideline. He makes some positive yardage. Got so many papers in my hand. Walker Chandler on the run back. I got to find some place to put some of these things.
I offered you a table.
Yeah.
And you were like,
Well, Station's not going to sit. We might want to check on Station. Station, are you still with us?
Well, yeah, I'm here. I'm just
making sure you're not asleep over there.
No, just doing my assignments with the stat and trying to see through this glass that all I see is blur.
Yeah, that one's
so I have no idea who has the ball. I'm not gonna lie.
Double pane glass. It's all fogged up. It's quite the adventure. So on their second series, Eskew hands it off to.
There's a big run.
One that time. He got off right tackle, broke it outside, and was about one tackle from going a long way.
Yeah, he kind of turned his shoulder into that linebacker or DB that made the tackle, and that just knocked him off of his feet. But had he kept his feet there, that might have been a big 70-yard touchdown.
And he's got some speed too, doesn't he?
He does. He's impressive to watch run, and he has been since he was a young kid.
2nd and 8. Same play, only this side, and it's Bryant. He's got some room. He's at the 50.
Arm.
Oh, he a shoulder pad from going all the way. Aiden Waters got him and spun him around, and if Waters wouldn't have got a hold of him, he was on the loose once again.
Yes, I called Sideshow here a freak, and he's deceptively fast, Jim, if you watch him. Like, there's times that you see linebackers in front of him, you're like, oh, he's done. And then he outruns those guys, and you're like, how did he get that far ahead?
Yeah, you talked about his patience, and we'll mention that after this play. A little slant pattern from Eskew to, what number was that, Mr. Eyeballs?
That looks like Zach Gibson.
There you go.
Number 28.
A little tall for him that time. Couldn't come away with it, so it'll be 2nd and 10. But that patience you talked about that Bryant shows, boy, that'll serve him well at the next level.
Well, and yes, it certainly will. And that was one thing when he was in youth football. He was so fast, he would run to the hole at his top speed, and you're trying to get him to slow down, and then he would go slow, and you're like, you got to find the middle. And he has certainly found the middle in high school.
And another play up the middle by Dane Dunn, run by Dane Dunn that time, and he'll be close to the first down. Yep, they're going to move the chains all the way down to the 28-yard line.
Jim, talk about that pass a little bit there from Jace to Zach Gibson, that attempted pass. They did a fake dive where Jace is giving the ball to his up back, and he looks up, there Zach is, and he just throws it. A great design play, really.
And he was open.
He was open. Jace has got that ball.
He does on the option. He breaks the tackle inside the 10. Down to near the 5-yard line before they finally corral him. Great fake that time on the option by Eskew.
Yeah, good, great fake and keep on Jace's part. And then he's a really good runner. When he was in youth football, I used to tell his dad that he had such a pretty run, just running the ball. You know, he looked like that's what he should be doing.
And he's tall. He's
tall.
6'2" probably. I saw him down at the softball game earlier, and I'm like, man, he's a lot taller than I thought. Quickly, the Bobcats back at it. Bryant, not a lot of running room at the 5. He moves the pile a little bit, and it's a little scrum half there, about the 3. So it'll be 2nd and goal for Bowling Green. Down to 3:44 to play in the first. Bowling Green leads at 8-0. Probably can expect more of the same on this play. However, a little play action pop pass.
Ooh, I like it.
Be a touchdown, wouldn't it? They're just going to hand it off to Brian off right tackle, and he'll cruise in. Yeah, okay, you can do that too. Not as much fun, but yeah, it works. The results just the same. So Bryant with his 2nd touchdown again of the game, this time from 3 yards out with 3:21 to play here in the first quarter. They will go for 2 as they kicked a field goal all year, or attempted a field point.
They've done the PAT, but not, and they've gotten a couple. But
have they?
They typically try to get a pretty good lead, and then they start PATing. Pass.
They're going to roll out. Eskew's going to roll out, throw it across to who is that
Aiden
guy?
Brody.
Yeah, on the
I
2-point
know that guy.
conversion from the tight end position, he probably ate you out of house and home tonight before you got here.
He's got a house at home every night.
I'm sure he's a big boy. So the 2-point conversion is good, and Bowling Green leads at 16-0 with 3:21 to play here in the first. You're listening to KJFM WBBA Sports on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by Gypsy Soul Salon and Boutique, Lacrosse Lumber, and Meyer Implement Company.
Pepsi Cola Bottling Company is a proud sponsor of the local schools and their athletes. When it's time to quench that thirst, reach for one of the many Pepsi products found in the local concession stands, including Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Sundrop, or the all-new Starry Lemon Lime. If you are wanting something other than soda, enjoy Bubbler, Clarbrun Water, Lipton Teas, Gatorade, and more. Pepsi Cola Bottling Company in New Haven and Bowling Green wishes all the area athletes a great season.
Follow area high school sports on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats, Young Enterprises, and Family Drug.
East to North kicks it away. Coden Miller that time brings it out to about the 36-yard line. So last two series, Mark Twain's had pretty good field position to start.
Yeah, really.
But the Bowling Green defense has been up to the task so far. They lead at 16-0, 3:16 to play in the first.
But so far, Mark Twain is -4 yards.
That makes it kind of tough, doesn't it? Epperson at quarterback, trying to draw the defense offside with a couple barks.
Great work on the D-line there.
And they'll fake the handoff, and then
that ball's up for grabs. Oh,
Epperson got rid of it as he was hounded.
I didn't do the camera again.
By big number 63. You know, you get caught watching the game.
We're going to take that headset away if you can't multitask.
This is a new part of the job for me, folks. I'm remembering as I was like, oh, that's a pretty good run. I was like, oh, I hope everybody saw that because I didn't move the camera at all.
Yeah,
I'll do better. I promise.
You weren't remembering, but I understand your point.
Thank you. That's what I meant. Exactly. You meant what I said.
It's remembering, right?
I meant what you heard.
It's remembering, yeah. It falls incomplete. As I didn't pick up the defender who got in there, it was the right tackle. If Chris knows who that is, since he's got these guys memorized.
If it's 13, it's Rowan Milosevic.
No, it's 69, I think.
That would be Jakari Clark.
There you go. So it's 2nd and 10. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Epperson's going to put it up. Throws it out in the left flat. Miller breaks a tackle, and he's going to get a first down. Miller's one of the kids that you got to watch. He's got some speed if he gets free. That's Coden Miller. And he'll pick up a first down, and I believe that's the first down from scrimmage that wasn't by a penalty for Mark Twain.
I got my first camera text message.
Did you? Well, that's good.
It says, "Yep, you're pretty bad." So apparently, I need to do better. Thank you, Chris, for the text message.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. On first down, they bring another back into the backfield, and Epperson will fake the handoff, swings it out to the Miller on the left flat, and he'll pick up a couple before he gets knocked out of bounds. Maybe two, maybe one. We'll have to see where they mark it.
Bowling Green's got to do a little bit better. They get good pressure on the quarterback. In this play, they even had pressure on the receiver, who basically just steps back on like a bubble screen, but nobody could make the tackle. They're trying to arm tackle instead of getting in and making good form tackles. And that's where we talk about those big plays earlier. You know, one missed tackle can create one of those big 60-yard touchdowns that you don't want to give up.
They're going to give him two. It'll be 2nd and 8, ball in Bowling Green territory at their 49-yard line. Miller comes in motion. They'll hand it to him on the jet sweep. Defense has got it strung out. Now he makes the corner, and there's a flag. Yep. He'll go out of bounds at about the 41, but that one's going to come back.
They're going to flag that receiver here on Mark Twain for the block against maybe Eli Grody, who was coming in to make that tackle, and he just gets his hand on his back and shoves him to keep him from making the tackle.
Well, to wipe that play out, as I'm sure Bowling Green will accept the penalty. Yeah, the officials take an awful long time to figure things out, don't they?
It's only week 7.
I know.
Well, everybody goes at their own pace.
Even if you're new at this, you're not new at this anymore. It's week 7.
And it's only a 5-yard penalty, so I don't know what they called against them.
It was blocking the back. You were right.
For a 5-yard penalty?
Yeah, that's all it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's all it is tonight.
Well, that's what I was agreeing with. It is tonight. Let's go with it.
We're going to look up some rules here in a minute, fellas.
Yeah, I used to carry a rule book with me. That was just way too much trouble. It's hard to find things in.
You got your purse. It'd fit in your purse.
Yeah, I know. It would. Just like carrying that purse. Don't be talking bad about my purse. It's a man purse.
Yeah, I think they call that a rule.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, purse.
Okay. So after all that, it's 2nd and 12. Back at the Mark Twain 47-yard line. And they'll go with twins to both sides. Waters will come in motion. He'll reverse field. Epperson's going to swing pass back, trying to get a screenplay set up for Hunter Miller. It's overthrown, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, man, if that was complete, they had a wave of offensive linemen out there to block for him, and it just was thrown behind him a little bit where he couldn't get his hands on it.
Got a little pressure on the quarterback that time, which helped. Made Epperson get rid of it maybe a little faster than he wanted.
I was going to say, with this pressure that Bowling Green is bringing in tonight, it seems like the quarterback is kind of not necessarily closing his eyes and throwing, but he's extremely quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, spooked maybe it would be he's a junior, so he's maybe a younger quarterback. Waters will go in motion from right to left, straight drop by Epperson. He'll throw it to the deep left sideline, and it's over the head and out of bounds. As Drew Dalton was back there trying to ball hawk, but all the way out of bounds that time, and it'll be 4th down, and I'm going to guess, well, I don't know. They may go for it from here. What have you got to lose, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to punt and make them go the entirety of the field, but you're down 2, so what do you have to lose?
My personal preference would be to punt it and try and pin them down.
Especially when it's 4th and 12. But
looks like they're going to go for it. Dotson in the backfield with Epperson, twins to both sides, and they'll bring Tobin in motion, or check that, Miller in motion. He'll reverse field now, head for the far sideline as they're trying to draw him offside.
Yeah,
I'm going to guess they're going to call a timeout and punt.
Play clock down to 9. Nobody's going to jump at this point.
Yeah, but I'd get tired of being bent over.
Well,
my hammy.
You're a little older. So Mark Twain will call a timeout. We'll step aside as well. 16-0. Bowling Green leads at 1:40 to play in the first. You're listening to KJFM WBBA Sports on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by All Parts, Kayla Caldwell, certified financial planner with Edward Jones, and Ann Lane Boutique.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life, and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
High school sports on your sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, Vicki Cadwalder, Real Estate, and Ingram Plumbing.
In what was the shortest timeout in the history of high school football, Mark Twain kicked it away, kicked it out of bounds again over on the far sideline. So Bowling Green will have it at their own 26. So not exactly pinned in their own end, but probably the worst field position so far tonight for Bowling Green.
Yeah, certainly the deepest they've started off so far in their own end zone.
They lead at 16-0. Still a minute 34 to play here in the first quarter. And they'll hand it to Bryant. He tries to get outside, couple of stiff arms, and has his legs cut out from under him at about the 30. Kind of outran his blockers that time. Not a lot of help out there on the edge.
Yeah, good tackle by number 5 for the Mark Twain Tigers. He got out here and, took one of Blaine's strong suits away from him, and that would be his feet trying to run in the ball. So
on 2nd down, they gave him 4, 2nd and 6. Straight up the gut that time. Bryant once again. And he'll be about a yard shy of the first down, it looks like.
Man, it looks like he's over for a first down, but could be wrong.
It's certainly close.
It is close. Those Illinois eyes, they're a little rough tonight.
Okay. That's where we're going.
I
Okay.
should have saved that for later. I already used my best stuff, and the game is only a quarter in. And third down, we're under a minute to play. Up the middle again. It's Chase Eskew's going to run, and he's on the loose. Can they catch him? He moves to the right sideline. He's at the 10. He's at the 5 to the pylon. Are they going to count it?
Should be.
They're thinking about it.
Is knocked over.
Yeah, that's.
It is a touchdown. Yeah, he hit the pylon, so a touchdown. I don't see any flags. So that was a long one.
So
64 yards?
Yes.
64 yards.
On a quarterback sneak.
Yeah.
So that was a quarterback sneak designed to get a yard, and it gets 63 extra.
Yeah, not even an option play.
That's why, folks, we call him J.C. Penney. Right there.
J.C. Penney, huh? And okay. I'm going to let you finish that. What's the punchline to that?
He's just all money.
All money. Okay.
Love it.
All money.
I make myself happy.
Oh, Lord. It's going to be a long night.
It is. You like it here.
I do. Other 2-point conversion. Eskew's going to roll to his right under pressure. Looks. He's going to tuck it, head for the pylon again, and they say he didn't make it. So he'll be short, and with 12 seconds to play in still the first quarter, Bowling Green leads it 22-0. You're listening to KJFM, WBBA Sports on Eagle 102.
To Sports brought to you by La Roots Hair Salon and Tanning, Sun Window Company, and MASH.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Ask me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
Best coverage of high school sports on KJFM, brought to you by Community State Bank of Missouri, County Market, Louisiana, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Up the gut, end over end, it caught at the 22-yard line, and not a whole lot of running room that time for Coden Miller. Out across the 30, or maybe right at the 30. We'll see where they mark it.
Easton normally kicks the rubber right out of the football. Tonight he's kicking it a little bit higher, and it's given the Mark Twain return man a chance to catch the ball on the run, which I think normally would be very, very dangerous, but Mark Twain can't quite find that seam to get the ball down the field on the kick return.
Right, dangerous in two ways, actually. Can he break it, or if he's looking down, he gets trucked by somebody.
That's also true, yeah.
So Epperson out of the shotgun. He'll drop back, 3-step drop, throws it deep down the left sideline, and it is caught.
I think he caught, yeah.
Caught by Hunter, or Miller. Why do I keep calling him Hunter? Got Hunter on the brain. Coden Miller with the catch. Big gain, biggest gain of the night for Mark Twain tonight into Bowling Green territory. That'll do it for the first quarter. Bowling Green 22, Mark Twain nothing. Listening to Eagle 102 WBBA Sports on Eagle 102. Yeah, I got that all messed up, don't I?
By Bit Veach and Collier Funeral Homes, Calumet of Missouri, and Kearns Construction.
Ingram Plumbing has always been known for its outstanding plumbing service, but did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
The Mercantile Bank of Louisiana is introducing Merc BK Mobile with the ability to take a picture of your check, and deposit it into your Mercantile bank account. You'll never have to worry about getting to the bank. Find more information by visiting mercbk.com. The Mercantile Bank, located on the corner of 3rd and Georgia Streets in downtown Louisiana. Member FDIC.
The most complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102, and it's brought to you by Mid-America Auto and Towing, the Mercantile Bank, and Pike County Mutual Insurance.
So the first big gain of the night for Mark Twain gets them into Bowling Green territory at their 42-yard line. As Mark Twain will now move from our right to our left. Epperson with Dotson behind him. Waters in motion. He'll loop around, and they'll fake the handoff.
He's in trouble. Look at the ball.
Throws it away. Under heavy pressure that time by Bryson Brandenburger. Put the heat on Epperson, and he had to get rid of it.
He did a good job to throw the ball out here in the out of bounds to the Bowling Green sideline. I thought he threw to this running back here, and there were several Bobcats closing in on him. So it's like almost look for the ball. You're going to get a walk-in pick six from the 45.
That is exactly right, and he doesn't want to do that.
No, well, some people don't want that to happen.
Well, Bowling Green would love it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
On second down from the 42-yard line of the Cats, Epperson hands it off to Dotson. He tries to break it outside and is immediately met by one activity between a wide receiver and a cornerback for Bowling Green. Let's see who they're going to call it on.
And
right.
It's one thing to play good football, just play football.
Just play good football.
Yeah, just
right.
it talks for itself.
No question. That's one of the downsides of what they've done with professional sports in general, of letting the guys talk and yak, and they do something wrong, they don't penalize them. Yep, you're wrong.
I am wrong. Maddie's laughing. What is this?
Let me rephrase that. Tonight, first time tonight.
I think Maddie's like, "Hey, buddy, I've listened to this broadcast. I know that's not the first time."
Was that a 15-yard penalty?
That is, and it's going to be third down. Is it third down? I guess it is.
Yep, that is third down.
Third, and so all the receivers are out. They'll bring Dotson in motion back behind Epperson, and he'll just hand it off. And not a whole lot there. He'll pick up maybe a half yard. And now I'm going to guess they're just going to punt it away without all the
Lucas Jennings on the defensive line. His defensive end position makes that tackle for the Bobcats.
So Walker Chen will drop back deep for the Bobcats. See if he can get his hands on one.
He'll take the ball in extremely dangerous scenarios. So if it's even close, he'll take it.
Hunter Miller's going to punt it away. High snap, but no rush, and it's a shank.
Bad kick.
I used to punt, and that's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, I bet so. I bet it is.
That ball is going to be like a net 3-yard punt.
Yeah. Yeah, just like you said, I guess it went off of his foot sideways completely, or,
yes, it did.
Or the ball wasn't quite turned right. But, man, just a 3-yard kick. So
Bowling Green's going to get it at Mark Twain's 46.5-yard line with 10:44 to play in the first half. They lead it 22-0. And they'll come from their usual formation. Eskew's going to fake the handoff and swing past Blue and knocked out of bounds. Is that Bryant?
Yeah, it looked like it to me.
I believe it is. It is a big gain. So it didn't look like much was going to happen with that play initially, but Bryant got to the sideline and went for about, 25 yards roughly?
Yeah, Jace rolls out here. It's out of the field and then threw it backside to Blaine on a screen pass, and then Blaine, did all the work gaining the yardage.
Two backs in the backfield this time. Defense doesn't jump. He tackled inside the 10, almost at the goal line, actually, but the flag would appear to be on Bowling Green.
Yeah, I can say it looked like there's a block in the back with those two Bowling Green kids in front of him. Could be wrong. I'll go with Chris's approach. Could be wrong.
You got to admit it because if you don't, then everybody brings it up to you.
You guys just got to put it out there. Take it where it takes you, right?
You would be the worst one to put it on us if we just put it out there.
So that does go from the spot of the foul. So it's going to be first down yardage. As with the penalty, it moves it back to about the 18-yard line of Mark Twain. And the official's holding his flag up, and they're still debating as to what they're going to do. They are finally going to move the chains. Who's on the chain gang tonight, Chris?
I sent that to you already. It's on
the chain gang? You did?
Oh, I don't know. On the chain gang. Who is the chain gang? Rob Gromel and his crew typically is who does it.
Gotcha. Same formation this time, and they'll run it off tackle to Brian on a little misdirection, and in comes another flag. So all of a sudden, that's holding. As the officials have become flag happy here all of a sudden.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. All of a sudden, that's holding. Was it all of a sudden holding, or you had something else to go?
Yes.
Yeah, right, yeah. I'll say what they always say. Holding occurs on every football play.
There is no doubt.
It just depends on how far you let it get stretched.
I'll tell you a funny story since we got a second. When I was learning how to referee, the guy told me, you need to be the umpire. I said, why is that? He said, first of all, you're in the middle of the field, you're away from the coaches. He said, before the game, pick a number between 1 and 20, and whatever that number is, throw a flag and call holding, because there's a holding on every play.
That's not good at all.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, I knew it.
It was pretty funny, though.
Pass.
So they roll out to the right, does SQ, throws it into the flat. It's caught. And down inside the 10-yard line that time. Gibson on the reception for Bowling Green. So I'm making it hard for Station to see, aren't I?
Oh, it's okay.
But good for a first down. Still leading 22-0. Out of the back, pro formation backfield, off right tackle, straight up the gut, and in for the touchdown from. Just took everybody with him that time. The line was out there, and they just literally looked like a rugby thing going right down through there. And good for the touchdown, making it 28-0. They'll go for 2 here.
What's a rugby thing?
Usually in rugby, though, it's neutral. There's not a whole lot of movement goes on.
It's going to be like one of them touchdown things. That's just what I think you're going to say next.
Out of the I formation this time. Off left tackle, in for the touchdown. I think that might have been Easton Orff.
That is Easton Orff for the 2-point conversion.
So with 9:32 to play in the first half, Bowling Green leads it 30-0. You're listening to KJFM WBBA Sports on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by the Keeley Center, Service and Supply Co-op, and Ameriprise Certified Financial Planner Tamara Schurter.
When you're looking for a taste of Italy in Pike County, visit Gambino's Eatery in Louisiana, just a block from the riverfront on 3rd and Georgia. Create your own pasta dish. Experience the Gambino family recipe meatballs in a toasted garlic bun. Or enjoy some Italian wine with friends while indulging in cannoli dip with cinnamon sugar chips. Italian-American cuisine that's sure to tantalize your taste buds. Gambino's Eatery, 3rd and Georgia, downtown Louisiana.
Follow area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Veolia Landscape Supply, Royal Banks, and a Taste of Philly.
Orff kicks it away. Coden Miller. I've called that guy Hunter every time, haven't I?
Just about, yes.
I have Hunter in my brain. Miller.
I think it's because it's like one of those things where you're like, don't fall asleep, don't fall asleep, don't fall asleep. You fall asleep,
Yeah.
you're going, don't say Hunter, don't say Hunter.
Miller, Coden, I'm sorry to him and his parents. Out to the 30, pretty good return that time by young Mr. Miller.
Did a good job at the end where he finally made contact with Bowling Green, just lowering his shoulder and taking on that tackler and gaining a couple extra yards.
So let's see if Mark Twain, other than one long pass play, offensive, they struggled, or actually the defense from Bowling Green has been very good. An empty backfield this time. Now they're going to bring Dotson back behind Epperson. He'll take the snap, little 3-step drop. He's under heavy pressure.
Ball's down.
Fumbles the ball.
Bowling Green's ball. Good call.
Who fell on that?
I don't know who fell on
Big
it.
number 13.
That's Rowan Milosevic. And the ball, almost the sack strip there for Jakari Clark, the sophomore, comes in from his nose tackle and knocks the ball out for Bowling Green.
Love that name, Milosevic. It just kind of rolls off your tongue, doesn't it?
Something like that.
I guess, yeah.
Bowling Green has it at the Mark Twain 21, the first turnover of the game. We talked about in the pregame. Mark Twain's got to take care of it. That is not what they're looking for. Yeah. So Bowling Green will look to punch it in quickly here with 9:17 to play in the first half.
Pass.
Little play action.
My gosh.
Wide open. And who is that? That kid's name's Grody.
I know him.
On the touchdown, 21 yards. SQ to Aiden Grody for the touchdown with 9:10 to play in the half.
Good catch, dude.
Making it 36-0. Well, I tell you what. He can eat you out of house and home, but he didn't have a defender within 20 yards of him. And if he'd have dropped that, you'd have had a lot to talk to him about the dinner table.
I told him he better not drop those because I'm going to tell him nice hands, feet, and he's done a good job of making me eat my microphone.
So Bowling going to try that extra point we talked about. Escu's going to hold. I can't see a kicker number. Can you see it from your angle?
It is Zach Gibson, number 28.
Good snap. Ball's down. Kicks away. It's a bullet. And it looks like it's good, and it is. Good for them. With the extra point, 9:10 to play in the half. Bowling Green leads it 37-0. You're listening to KJFM WBBA Sports on Eagle 102.
With Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Brian and Heather White with White Insurance Agency, DG Firearms, and Hayden's Motorsports Center.
On every journey, you should enjoy peace of mind. I'm Corey Buchanan at Pike County Mutual Insurance Company. We take pride in keeping you protected. That's why we offer discounts for good students, safe driving, and more. Trust us to look out for the road ahead. For a free insurance quote on your home, auto, farm, or ATV needs, give myself or
Shelley Glucky
a call today. Pike County Mutual Insurance Company on the square in Bowling Green.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock Agent, Perkins Electrical Services, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Well, one thing I can say about this officiating crew, they put it in play after scores. They don't give us our TV timeouts like we want, right?
They do. That's true.
Coden Miller on the return that time. He brings that one out to about the 34-yard line. Another nice return by Miller. And that's where Mark Twain will have it trailing 37-0. First quarter score for Montgomery County. Louisiana leads Montgomery County 8-6.
Louisiana leads 8-6?
Yes.
Go Bulldogs.
We'll see if we can get an update on that. I'm sure it's in the second quarter by now. So twins to both sides for Mark Twain. Epperson takes the snap, hands it off up the middle to Dotson. And just not a whole lot of room there.
Gosh, the slot receiver here on the near side of the field was about 3/4 of the way into his first step before the ball was snapped.
That's called 37-0 officiating.
Oh,
is what that's called.
Okay. Yeah, I bet there's. I get you.
It's like refereeing basketball. What? Foul? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Gain of 2 on the carry for Dotson. It'll be 2nd and 8. Epperson takes the handoff and fakes the handoff with the option. Going to swing pass. It's up for grabs, and who's going to come away with it? They're wrestling over it. It looks like Aiden Waters is going to come down with it.
Great catch. He caught that ball. First of all, he went up to get the ball in with 2 defenders on him and pins the ball almost to his helmet, kind of like that New York Giants. Wasn't it New England?
Yeah. Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that was Evan Waddell, number 2, the tight end, that made that catch.
To check his helmet for bubblegum.
Yeah. But a good play for the first down for Mark Twain.
Was a good catch.
Clock continues to run. We're down to 8 minutes to play in the half. Bowling Green comfortably on top, 37-0. Under center for the first time now. Epperson straight handoff up the middle to the fullback, Hunter Miller. For a quick pop for good for about 6, maybe 7.
Walker Chandler in on that tackle for Bowling Green.
First time we've seen a quick hitter from Mark Twain this evening. As the ball rests directly on the 50-yard line. Pretty good crowd finally arrived tonight. Wind's laid down a little bit. Not quite as cold outside. It's really not bad at all inside.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Under center once again, Aberson. Same play, but Bowling Green wised up this time. And 3, 4, 5 defenders have Miller and pushing back. It'll be no gain. It'll be third and a long 3, maybe 4.
Neil Rainey and Jakari Clark are the first 2 Bobcats to make contact with him there from the defensive end and nose tackle position. And like you said, multiple other Bobcats coming to the crowd as he got held up.
So what's Coach Mark Epperson going to draw up here on this 3rd and 4, as the scoreboard says? Back under center once again, and we've got a whistle and a timeout. Bowling Green's going to take a timeout. We'll step aside as well. They lead at 37-0 to the Bobcats. You're listening to KJFM WBBA Sports on Eagle 102.
Game of the week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Brian and Heather White with White Insurance Agency, DG Firearms, and Hayden's Motorsports Center.
With our mobile and online banking service, you can now bank from anywhere. Deposit checks, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust app today. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Rick Rodhouse, Country Financial Agent, Noah Builders, and Central State Bank of Illinois.
Third down and 4 for Mark Twain. Bowling Green leads 37-0 with 6:39 to play. Under center once again is Aberson. He'll pitch it to the deep back. That's
ball is out again. That's a
ball's
scoop and score.
up. Gonna go all the way. Who is that? They're down the left sideline. We can't see that far, but it's a touchdown nonetheless. Eli Tobin on the carry, lost the handle, and it was picked up and on the run. Is that done?
By Eli Grody.
Eli Grody.
From a DB position.
Wow, and he went 50 yards on that scoop and score. You don't see that every night.
Blaine Bryant got in from his linebacker position and made contact with the running back, and you could just see the ball skipping out across the grass as Eli picked it up and scored.
And they'll try and kick the extra point once again, will the Cats? As I mentioned, they are running on all cylinders now. Gibson to kick it away, Eskew to hold. Good snap that time. Ball's another line drive, just barely tall enough, but it's good.
That's right.
6:24 to play in the half. Bowling Green 44, Mark Twain nothing. Listening to high school football on KJFM WBBA Sports.
Game of the week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by the Keeley Center, Service and Supply Co-op, and Ameriprise Certified Financial Planner, Tamara Schurter.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance Agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana, and let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance Agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Rod Prentice and Brenda Crawford, State Farm Agents, Pepsi, and Ackles Farm Market.
The kick away by Orff to an up back at the 20-yard line, and he'll be hit at the 30. It's Justin Berchthold with the return for Mark Twain. Looks like they may mark it out to the 32-yard line. So a scoop and score, defensive score, that always makes the defensive coordinator happy.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Bowling Green leads at 44-0.
You can certainly yell less at your guys on Monday.
They,
I mean, I wouldn't, but
they certainly appreciate that, I'm sure. I don't imagine the coaching staff's going to let up much at all till they get to their ultimate goal.
I think you're right.
Back in the shotgun, they run the jet sweep this time to Coden Miller. He'll try and get around the right side. He does, and picks up about 4, maybe 5 out across the 35 near the 37.
Yeah, pretty good fake. Epperson, the quarterback, just pitches that ball in front of him on a little forward shovel pass, and he almost kind of fakes his carry out to this side of the field, and there was a linebacker right there to tackle him. So good thing he didn't have the ball because he'd have taken a shot, I'm sure.
Jack Dotson, the leading rusher for Mark Twain, and Bowling Green's just completely shut him down.
He's got 6 carries for only 2 yards.
There you have it.
Ouch.
They faked the jet sweep
Inside.
this time, and they handed off up the middle, and just about broke it as I spoke of Dotson.
Yeah.
He was a shoestring from going a long way.
Was that water hose, I think, Bryson Brandenburger, I think, on that tackle. And quite literally, that was a touchdown-saving tackle because there wasn't nobody going to stop him if he broke through that linebacker level.
Good for a first down out to the 44-yard line, still in Mark Twain territory. Clock continues to run down to 5:45 to play here in the half. We'll go away. We'll have the halftime show for you with some stats and I'm sure intriguing conversation. Under center that time, they'll run the straight dive play to the fullback, Hunter Miller, out of the fullback position. Not a lot of room for him there.
Gain of 2, maybe.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Bowling Green starts out, Jim, in a 3-down defensive lineman, and then the more you run the ball, the more they gravitate to this 4-down lineman. And when they get their 4-down linemen in there, they really shut down the running game pretty well.
And without the threat of a pass, they can pretty much blitz if they want.
Yeah, that's right.
And turn it into 6 because it looks like it's something similar to a 4-2 right now. And Epperson's going to drop back. He's going to wing it deep up the right sideline, back shoulder pass, and it's caught, but the flag is down. I don't know if he was inbounds or out of bounds. They haven't given us a signal yet.
It's like they're going to
I don't think it's pass interference on Bowling Green.
They're going to say he made the catch all the way down to the 32-yard line.
So you decline that, correct?
I would think so,
Take
yeah.
the yards?
Sure, absolutely, because it's only 15-yard penalty, and they picked up what?
Pass interference.
24, 25 on that pass.
And the ball is thrown backside. I don't know if he doesn't have an arm to throw it far enough or if it's that short of a ball. But what's happening is the receivers are going all out, and then they know they're coming back for the ball, and Bowling Green's just running right into their wide receivers.
That's exactly what happened. Out of the shotgun once again. Everson drops back. Going to throw a little out pattern, and that's wide, intended for Coden Miller that time.
I mean, that is exactly what we talked about, the play they just ran, except they're running the same thing farther down the field and getting those pass interference calls.
Epperson's put it up quite a bit this year for Mark Twain. 52 attempts, 25 for 52. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 373 yards. So as we've seen, the deep ball maybe not his forte, but they've had some pretty good positive yards as of late. They'll run the jet sweep this time on the inside handoff to Waters, and he'll get across the 30 and then gets blasted from behind by little number 26, Chase Buffington, but he hit him pretty hard. Or actually, it might have been Zach Gibson, 28.
I think it was Zach Gibson.
So a gain of about 7 on the play. 3rd and 3.
Zach and Chase are fairly close to the same size, though.
Same size in 26 and 28, which makes that.
Zach's going to be mad at me for saying that, though.
Yeah. They don't listen to these things the next day.
I heard some of
it. Yeah. Everson fakes the jet sweep. It's too tall. And now they're going to call pass interference again.
So I think they're going to call that pass interference with the contact on the back of the wide receiver, but I don't know how that impacts him from catching the ball.
Yeah, that was I don't know if that was catchable. He might have got his fingertips on it, but That's what the call is going to be. So they'll mark off 15 from the 26, so it'll be half the distance to the goal as the officials do that radio math in their heads. Takes it down to the 13-yard line.
Technically, the rule says no contact before they touch the ball, so probably technically that is a violation. But
well, I think it goes back to holding on every play.
Yeah.
There's contact
I think you're right.
on every pass attempt.
Yeah, I think that's true. It needs to be, does that contact interfere with the catch?
So Mark Twain in the red zone for the first time. There's the loop-de-loop motion, and now hand it off up the gut to Dotson, and he is rocked.
Oh, sideshow, you
Mother
freak.
of Mary. Knocked him. He did like a 360 spin after he got smoked.
I think he went 3 yards and ended up getting 2 yards.
That kid.
Like, slap your grandma.
I'll tell you what, Blaine knows how to use his protective equipment because he can put the hit on the ball carrier. And that was a good one because the running back for Mark Twain was leaning into that. And like you guys said, it practically stood him up and pushed him backwards.
He did gain 2 yards, though. Tough 2 yards, we might add.
We probably had 4.
Might have.
Like.
So it'll be 2nd and 8, down to 3 minutes to play in the half. In motion comes Miller. They'll hand it off up the middle, and not a whole lot going on there.
Sideshow there again, it looked like.
In fact, nothing going on.
You had Blaine Bryant again on his blitz from his linebacker position.
Tobin on the carry. He'll lose about 4, and it'll be 3rd and 12.
And that'll be in. Blaine's one of those guys where he gets a big hit on people and he motivates him and excites himself. You know, he'll get ready to play more and more as he does that throughout the game.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now what's going on in the huddle, the defensive huddle, is these guys are going, we are not letting them in.
Yeah.
So it's 3rd and 12, 4-down territory, of course. Down to 2:15 to play in the half. Mark Twain's got 2 timeouts left. And now they're going to have to call one because they took a little too much time. Play clock was down to 5. We'll step aside as well. 44-0 Bowling Green leads it. You listen to KJFM, WBBA Sports.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Bibb Veach and Collier Funeral Homes, Calumet of Missouri, and Kearns Construction.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Pike County Health Department, People's Savings Bank, and Allpark.
Go out of the second timeout of the half. Mark Epperson drawing up that 3rd and 12 play for his Tigers. Mark in his 2nd year as head coach at Mark Twain, I believe.
Jim, you talked about Bowling Green tightening down in their defense. That's one of the things we've watched them do is give up yards, but then when it gets important, really sink down and bite in deep.
Let's see if they can do that right here on 3rd down. Epperson takes a snap, a whole lot of stuff going on the line at that time, and it's a false start on Mark Twain. So that makes the challenge a bit greater, making it 3rd and 17. That's got to drive you nuts as a coach, doesn't it? After a timeout, you got whatever you call going and have a pre-snap penalty.
You know, I remember playing back football, and it seemed like everything drove my football coach crazy. Larry, I hope Larry Fine is listening.
Yeah, well, Larry, he's a treat.
It's fantastic.
A couple years here at Bowling Green when I lived here. He might have been playing, heck.
Well, maybe.
Epperson drops back under heavy pressure. He's hit, and it's underthrown and incomplete. Intended for Aiden Waters, but good pressure that time by the interior line of Bowling Green, and it'll be 4th down.
I've cussed a lot of coaches, Jim. I would like to know that you were here. I was here. I'll add you to my list.
Yeah.
I don't coach. I don't coach.
I stayed out of that stuff. I'm like, that's a head coach's problem, not mine. I did peripheral stuff. And I was the eye in the sky for Larry for a couple of years.
When he was head coaching?
Yeah.
That was either before my time or after my time.
I got to tell you, one year Rockney Calhoun helped me. It was the most enjoyable football season I think I've ever had.
Was.
And they're going to run a little flea flicker. They pitch it out to Miller. He wants to throw it. He wings it, and it's overthrown, intended for Waters. And that'll do it for the Tigers. They'll turn it over on downs, and Bowling Green will have a minute 56 to see if they can do something from
their own 20?
About 80 yards away.
What do you think, fellas? Roll out pass?
I think they're going to run the first one up the middle.
You old guys.
And then play action.
Okay. Never mind. Thank you, sir.
There's plenty of time for a couple of plays here.
Or Bryant does what he does and just gets a handoff at 8 yards.
That's also very possible, yeah. Also very possible, yeah.
Well, there's not anybody very deep. Almost everybody in the box. 10 guys in the box. And they'll give it to Bryant. He gets outside. Look out.
That's
across the 35 to the 40 to the 50. Can he outrun him? He will not. Just knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
I thought I called it. I called it.
Close. That's where that patience comes in. Here as he gets past the hash mark, the hole opens up for him, and he jumps through that with his speed, and then it's just off to the races.
Easton Orff will come in and give Brian a blow.
50-yard gain?
Yeah. That's good math, Stason.
That puts him at 13 carries, 151 yards, and 3 touchdowns?
Let's go with not a bad half. How about that?
Better.
And they'll give it to Orff off right tackle. He's got some space across the 20, down inside the 20. As the clock continues to run.
This is where Bowling Green's future really shows you, because Blaine graduates this year. They got Dane Dunn.
Right.
And Easton Orff is a heck of a secondary back or, accompanying back for Dane Dunn.
Nice
for
little
next season.
change of pace guy.
Yeah.
Out of the eye, and there's a pre-snap penalty. That's going to probably be on Bowling Green. But, it's the same thing as they did last year.
Yeah.
Blaine Bryant was the secondary guy last year. I mean, late in the year, he really did some damage late in the year. But, their marquee running back, Marcus, got the bulk of the carries, but they were building for that, as we mentioned in the pregame.
Yeah.
Reload, not rebuild. And so Mark St. Clair doing the same thing with Orff and Dunn here this year.
I think South Shelby is putting the whooping on Macon.
I think they are.
42-0.
I don't think Macon's won a game. So not much going on there off left tackle that time. And there's another late flag, a little extracurricular activity, another probably unsportsmanlike conduct. Would you like to make a prediction on that one?
I think it was on Bowling Green because I believe I saw it.
I saw Mark Twain Tiger clapping. So
that's what I saw. So I'm going to
say
stay on Bowling Green for 100, please.
Yeah, but that's cheating if you really saw it.
No, we didn't really see the play. We just saw the Mark Twain guy celebrating.
I'm on Stason's side here. You can't give the challenge and then lay out the rules afterwards. That's not how this works.
Okay, well, they're taking a long time to think about it. They are going to mark it off against Bowling Green. Bowling Green offense, like we're ready to go from right here. I'm sorry, boys.
Okay.
We're going back 15.
We messed up, but we'll start over.
So it's it's not quite under a minute. $1:10 to play in the half. Bowling Green leads 44-0, trying to get it to 50 before the end of the first half. Now they've got 36 yards to go, and it's second to Lincoln County.
We were talking about it being warmer up here. I swear it's getting colder up here because of the draft. But I also wear a sweatshirt when it's 70 degrees outside.
I'm going to leave that draft part alone. Little misdirection play action. Eskew overthrows intended for Dunn, and over here in the right flat. Actually went through his progression that time pretty nicely and went to the dump off, but just threw it too high.
Well, that play is designed where he rolls out here, sets his feet, and he looks backside with Blaine running a wheel route.
Well, it looked like Bryant was open on the Mark Twain side of the field.
He was. That Jace has to learn that that at times you've got to get the ball out and let your guy go run for it. You know, just because
lead the receiver.
Just because there's a white jersey there doesn't mean you can't let your athlete go get it.
58 seconds to play. They'll give it, and it was going to be a halfback pass, and it is Bryant. He hits
Drew.
a receiver, and Drew is on the loose. Backwards, forwards, reverse, to
He's
the
got
left
a bunch
sideline.
of lead blockers. He's going to score. Oh, gosh.
What a run. What a run. 36 yards on the halfback pass.
What?
Yeah, that was nuts. Bryant to Drew Dalton, and he made more moves than Taylor Swift. Let's get a Taylor Swift. Let's get a Taylor Swift.
He got out to the far side of the field, and he just kind of stopped. And then he got a whole wave of blockers in front of him, so he went back to the left. He almost turned around like he was coming our way again, and then turns around, goes back left, and his –
Not much more, but it's right down central, and it's good. So with 40 seconds to play, Bowling Green flexes their muscles. They lead 51-0 on KJFM WBBA Sports.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by La Roots Hair Salon and Tanning, Sun Window Company, and MASH.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
Follow area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Veolia Landscape Supply, Royal Banks, and a Taste of Philly.
Well, that was one of the more exciting runs we've seen all year.
Yeah.
As done on the halfback pass, made a multitude of moves. So Orff will kick it away again. His leg's going to wear out. Line drive kick caught at the 20 or 18-yard line, I should say, by Miller, and he's hit. And in comes a flag. Okay, Mr. Officials, you can kind of put those flags away.
I keep looking at your text messages. That's okay.
Block in the back is the call.
Maddie's keeping everybody updated, and I think somebody's giving me new updates. It's like I'm at the Bowling Green game.
I thought we talked about earlier not trying to multitask too much.
Yeah, just got the camera under wraps here, so I got to be careful.
Now, see, you spoke highly of this camera work.
Yeah,
it's going to be attacked from now.
You need to stay in your lane.
Got second half.
This is what happens when you work in the past with Jim. He knows how you're going to mess up, so he's probably right.
So all the way back to the 18, that's where Miller caught the kickoff. As the penalty moves it back there with 35 seconds. And looks like Mark Twain is going to run some offense. Eberson in the shotgun. He'll hand it off to his tailback. Again, not a lot of running. Dotson, yes, sir. Jack Dotson. He's just a junior.
Looked like Rowan Milosevic again in on that tackle. And Rowan is another young man that didn't play football last year and is having a heck of a
Rowan Milosevic. What? Oh man, I love it. I love it.
The paper called him Roman a few weeks ago. That's what so I saw him at the gas station. I was like, "Hey, Roman." He goes, "Oh, you read the paper."
So a loss of 2 on the carry by Dotson. It'll be 2nd and 12, and they're going to let the time run out for the first half. So your score, it's been all Bowling Green. They lead it 51-0 as they head to the locker room. Your halftime show's next on KJFM WBBA Sports.
Report is coming up, sponsored by Cellular and Satellite Center.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by Gypsy Soul Salon and Boutique, Lacrosse Lumber, and Meyer Implement Company.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Now a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
From the classic cheesesteak and rich crab cakes, a taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A taste of Philly. Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Ask me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
Ingram Plumbing has always been known for its outstanding plumbing service, but did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
It's now time for the Eagle 102 Halftime Report, sponsored by Cellular and Satellite Center.
Welcome back to Bowling Green High School, and the Bobcats, their first drive was a methodical thing, but boy, they got it in high gear after that, and they lead it over the Mark Twain Tigers 51-0 on what's turned out to be a beautiful night for high school football. And gentlemen, Chris, I'll let you go first. Your thoughts on that first half?
Well, I think we pretty much see the same thing that we've seen week in and week out from Bowling Green for the last couple years, and it's a dominant football team on both sides of the football by all 11 players on the football team. It's not a one-man show. It's not a two-man show. There are multiple athletes on this football team that put stuff together and put on a show for their Bowling Green fans here at the football field.
And it's been a good show so far. Stason, your thoughts?
Well, there seems like Mark Twain's doing the complete opposite of what we talked about in the pregame. Bowling Green's kind of doing whatever they want when they want it, and we've seen that Brian is matching up to the hype that he has on the ground.
Yeah, he anytime you sign a Division I letter of intent before the season, in one regard it takes the pressure off because you don't have to think about it anymore. But in the other regard, everybody you're playing is going, oh, D1 back, we're going to get him, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you see that, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be the D1 back, but the primary stud athlete on the football team gets a whole lot of attention. But I think you see a massive difference between just your standard stud athlete and some of these D1 athletes that you see today.
Right.
And Blaine has developed so much from youth football to today. And I think that's why I like watching him, because I watched him play as a young kid, and listen to his dad and his coaches. No, you don't go so fast. No, slow down. And, man, last year at North Callaway was one of my favorite plays I saw him. I was watching from the far side of the end zone. He had a linebacker in front of him, and I was like, oh, they got him. I looked away, and I looked back up, and he outran everybody. I was like, God, that guy was 10 yards ahead of him. And Blaine still outran him in a game of angles. He is very talented.
The other thing that he's got that people maybe don't realize is he can run over you, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in fact, last year, that was a lot of what he did is he ran over you, and then when he got out into the open, then he showed the speed he's got. But like you mentioned, he's showing the patience this year where you don't have to run over as many people. You just wait for the hold open and then shoot through it.
I think his big hits come from he's deceptively fast. He's a big kid. He's a tall kid. Mm-hmm. So those guys don't always look fast, but he is fast. He gets down the field quick, and then he's fearless. Like, he wants to hit people. And like you said, last year, the hit here tonight against the kid down here near the goal. The cause, being a great athlete is one thing, but having guys in front of you that open holes that say, I don't know, 46-year-old Chris Grody could run through makes a big difference.
Okay, come on, let's not get
through the hole, Jim. I didn't see through the touchdown.
I didn't bring my boots tonight. It's getting pretty deep up in this box.
First time, man. You got to bring ththose boots when I'm here every night.
Football and Blaine Bryant would be first one to admit it. Nothing happens without the guys up front.
Yeah, I agree with that, and you know it. I agree with you, and it's a huge advantage when you're the star back, when you've got a Dane Dunn that is not a slouch, when you've got a Jace Eskew at quarterback who is not a slouch, when you've got Drew Dalton that we've seen catch the ball, when we've seen Aiden Grody at tight end who can go out and get the ball. We saw Oliver Niemeyer with a catch tonight. That takes a whole lot of pressure off of just one people and makes a team focus on a bunch. And
yeah, and the other side of it is you can have a really good it's a complementary idea, because if you've got a really good offensive line but you got skill players that can't cut it, it's not going to do much.
That's right.
But if Bowling Green's got the great mix that you've got to have to be a good football team, and that's exactly where they are. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with some statistics. We'll test. That's easy for me to say, right?
Big word.
We're going to test out that Illinois math. As Stacy's got some stats for you, we'll have some scores from around the area after this on WBBA KJFM Sports.
With Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by All Parts, Kayla Caldwell, certified financial planner with Edward Jones, and Ann Lane Boutique.
The Mercantile Bank of Louisiana is introducing Merc BK Mobile with the ability to take a picture of your check and deposit it into your Mercantile Bank account. You'll never have to worry about getting to the bank. Find more information by visiting mercbk.com. The Mercantile Bank, located on the corner of 3rd and Georgia Streets in downtown Louisiana. Member FDIC.
On every journey, you should enjoy peace of mind. I'm Corey Buchanan at Pike County Mutual Insurance Company. We take pride in keeping you protected. That's why we offer discounts for good students, safe driving, and more. Trust us to look out for the road ahead. For a free insurance quote on your home, auto, farm, or ATV needs, give myself or
Shelley Glucky
a call today. Pike County Mutual Insurance Company on the square in Bowling Green.
Royal Banks is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A Royal Bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks bring experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal opportunity lender.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Now a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular.
Sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
51-0. Bowling Green leads it at half over Mark Twain. And Stacy, you have some stats for us.
I'll start on the Mark Twain side. Rushing, Waters, 1 carry, 7 yards. Dotson, 9 carries, 15 yards. Miller, there's 3 Millers. 2 Millers.
No, they're hunters, remember?
Yeah. C. Miller has 3 carries for 2 yards. Hunter Miller has 4 carries and 9 yards. On the passing side, Epperson has 13 attempts and 6 completions for 69 yards. Receiving, Waters has 2 catches for 32. C. Miller has 3 catches for 37. And Hunter Miller has 1 catch for -1 yard. Going to the Bowling Green side, the star of the first half, Blaine Bryant, has 13 carries, 151 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns.
And a passing.
13 yards. Dunn has 2 carries for 17. Eskew has 2 carries for 87 yards and a touchdown. And now 87 mostly came from the 64-yard touchdown he had. Passing, Eskew has 6 attempts on 4 completions, 53 yards, and a touchdown. And Bryant has 1 completion, 36 yards, 1 touchdown pass. To give a recap of the scoring, in the first quarter, Bryant had a 64-yard touchdown rush in the first quarter. In the second quarter, Bryant had a 8-yard touchdown rush. Eskew had a 21-yard pass touchdown to Grody to make it 37-0. Then Grody picked up the fumble recovery touchdown to make it 44-0. And then towards the end of the half, Bryant had the touchdown pass to Drew to make it 50.
From Montgomery County, they lead Louisiana 21-14 at half. And let's talk about some of the North Shelby over St. Paul 32-7 in an 8-man game. Hannibal leads Mobley 21-0, that early in the third quarter as well. A couple other scores for you. South Shelby, as Chris mentioned earlier, they're putting a thumping on Macon 42-0. That's still showing a halftime score. Monroe City leads Brookfield 20-8. Centralia over Highland at half 36-0. Clark County over Palmyra 26-6 at half. Quincy leads Sterling 28-21 in a close game. Troy Buchanan leads Howell North 7-0. Paris trails Bramer in an 8-man game 30-22. Pleasant Hill and Calhoun, that's a first quarter score, so this is probably a little bit behind the curve. That score was 14 all. Auburn leads Pittsfield at half 21-7. Quincy Notre Dame leads St. Teresa out of Decatur 27-6. So those are the scores from around the area and the statistics for you. Let's take our final break, and we'll be back with the second half kickoff on KJFM WBBA Sports.
Game of the Week coverage with 102 Sports, brought to you by Custom Work Salon and Tanning, the Mercantile Bank, and Pepsi.
Pepsi Cola Bottling Company is a proud sponsor of the local schools and their athletes. When it's time to quench that thirst, reach for one of the many Pepsi products found in the local concession stands, including Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Sundrop, or the all-new Starry Lemon Lime. If you are wanting something other than soda, enjoy Bubbler, Clarbrun Water, Lipton Teas, Gatorade, and more. Pepsi Cola Bottling Company in New Haven and Bowling Green wishes all the area athletes a great season.
From the classic cheesesteak and rich crab cakes, a taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A taste of Philly. Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help for questions. Call me and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock agent, Perkins Electrical Services, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth. Sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
Let's tell you about next week for all these clubs in action. Bowling Green will be on the road next week at Wright City. Louisiana will host Van Far for their homecoming game. Van Far playing better this year than they have in the past. Mark Twain will host South Callaway. Pittsfield will be at home against Porta. And Pleasant Hill will be at home against Unity Seymour. As we mentioned, softball season will wrap up its regular season early next week, and districts are around the corner. The district brackets are out. You can see those on KJFMradio.com. And, of course, we'll keep you updated as we go along next week as to what's going on with all that. And, of course, we'll have video games and online or a radio game and probably radio game. I'm not sure who's doing what, but I think we're going to be in Pittsfield next week, maybe for the radio, and Bowling Green and Louisiana will be on video. But tune in to the morning show, and guys and gals will tell you all about that early next week. Well, guys, Not a whole lot you can say about the second half. Bowling Green, main thing for Bowling Green right now is don't get anybody hurt.
Yeah, I think you'll probably see the majority of the junior varsity team come in at some point, and we know that the mercy clock will be going, which pretty much runs nonstop, in the second half. But I agree with you. You don't want to get anybody hurt, let alone a starter.
Well, I don't want to sound like a jerk when I say this, or be rude to Mark Twain, but the good news is that this is going to be over quickly.
Yeah.
Like I said, the running clock's going on, and I'm going to say for like Jim already talked about, don't let anybody get hurt from Bowling Green. They're probably going to play their JV. Mark Twain needs to take this second half here and just try to work on some things. We know that this game is probably going to end in Bowling Green's favor, most likely. But just take this second half and just try to work on some things, clean some things up, get some kind of momentum going into the next game next week, and just try to, keep your head up,
Well, and Mark Twain's got a winnable game next week as they bring South Callaway to town, and South Callaway is not the South Callaway of old, as Bowling Green showed last week. But, so you got Mark Twain's kind of thinking the same thing. Let's not get anybody hurt. Let's have some positive things happen. I would expect that Bowling Green will have their first team out there for the first series, probably on offense and defense, and then you'll start seeing some subs come in, or a ton of subs, I would suspect, come in after that. Because, as we talked off the air before the game last year, Bowling Green starters played very, very, very little in the second half of any game last year, and maybe when they got to Blair Oaks in that run and gun game, that might have come back to haunt them a little bit.
I think there were some learning opportunities there for everybody, coaching staff included. And I think you're right that Bowling Green last year played more kids than we've seen them play on a team, offense and defense, playing less Ironman football. But then as we got into the districts and we got into some of those heavier games, we went almost back to Ironman football, and I think that hurt a little bit in that Blair Oaks game for sure. And I don't know if you remember this or not, but the Blair Oaks head coach in his interview pretty much said, "Hey, look, they play like 12 kids, so we're just gonna run them to death."
Right,
and that's
right.
really what they did.
And that was probably the state championship game, and that was as entertaining of a high school football game as you'll ever see.
It was a good game.
I mean, it was. It was actually uncanny. Best way I could describe it was run and gun football.
Yeah. It was Aiden, the quarterback for that Blair Oaks team. Aiden had an opportunity, during that game on defense. He said he got an arm on him, and he said, "Dad, he ran through my arm." He goes, "Like a running back, not a quarterback." He goes, "It was shocking how that kid ran the ball." So,
and I believe he's at Truman State now.
State, who is playing good football. They're ranked.
They're ranked. They are ranked. They play Quincy University.
Play QU,
tomorrow. We didn't talk about Missouri at all. They've got a big game. Host LSU tomorrow. So Bowling Green will get it to start the second half, which is not exactly the way Mark Twain would have hoped this would have worked out. But big number 64, Braden Moss, kicks it off.
Pick it up.
Still on the ground, and now on loose. He gets to the outside at the 40 and is drugged down from behind.
Zach Gibson had a little bit of trouble with the ball getting it, then got the ball right as contact was there to make him. He ducked under contact almost. And
yeah, if he picks that up clean, look out, because he gets to
run.
the sideline, and then the fun starts all over again. So it looks like the starting offense will come out for this first series, and they'll see if they can put one more in the end zone. They lead it 51-0 as we just start the second half. Orff at tailback takes the first handoff. It looks like maybe Bryant is not in the game at tailback right now.
Well, I think this is a chance, Jim, here for both of these teams to get some kids in, some future kids in positions to play and say, hey, look, here's a varsity football game. And
here's what it feels like.
Let's
right?
get you some experience and let's show you how fast the game is.
Yeah, it's really uncanny. Mine's a basketball story. And I'll tell you after. It has to do with Bowling Green, actually, as Bowling Green comes to the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 6. Orff again breaks it outside, breaks the tackle, gets to the 50, down to 45.
There he goes.
Now he's on the loose.
Touchdown.
He's gone.
Winston.
He's got great speed. They won't catch him. 55 yards for Easton Orff. Well, I think they might have wished that series would have taken just a little bit longer.
Probably.
If this is going to be the offensive line's first and only play of series of the second half. But Orff goes 55 yards, and, man, he showed some speed, didn't he?
And he gets the ball at an off-tackle position. That hole fills up. He bounces outside, and he just outruns the grip of a defensive lineman. And like you said, then turned it on down the sidelines.
Left everybody in his dust as Zach Gibson comes in. He'll try another extra point. He's been perfect so far, and he keeps that up as well. And that extra point thing can do you wonders for you in these playoff games sometimes.
Yes, he can.
58-0, Bowling Green leads it. You're listening to KJFM WBBA Sports.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by Gypsy Soul Salon and Boutique, Lacrosse Lumber, and Meyer Implement Company.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
The best coverage of high school sports on KJFM, brought to you by Community State Bank of Missouri, County Market in Louisiana, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Orff, still winded from the run, will kick it away. A bullet right down central, picked up by Coden Miller again up the right sideline, and he'll go out of bounds at about the 33 or 4 yard line. Talking about the difference in speed, people don't realize from JV to varsity. When I was a freshman in high school, we had 3 pretty good freshman basketball players. And so after the Bowling Green tournament, which, as everyone knows, is late in January,
yep.
We started all 3 freshmen. The first game I started was against Bowling Green. I swear to you, every time I passed the ball, Melvin McPike stole it. I bet I had 30 turnovers, and I'd look to the sideline, and coach is going, "You're learning, boy.
Yeah.
Stay in there." I was like, "Please take me out, coach.
Let somebody else do this."
So it is a big difference and a big step up in speed for sure. On the first play from scrimmage in the second half by Mark Twain, run up the middle. That is Dotson again. A few positive yards.
Yeah, few.
Give him 3, it looks like. Looks like a few of the varsity defensive starters are out. A few of them still in, maybe.
Neil Rainey checking out here. Lucas Jennings is in at defensive end. Looks like Harrison Hunt is on the other side.
On the second down play, they'll run the sweep to Dotson. Nothing doing there. Back to the line of scrimmage at best, probably.
Yeah, at best. Tucker Watson checking into the football game. Lucas Jennings, the senior, checking out, giving him a rest to let.
Carrying his arm kind of funny, isn't he? Don't need that.
He's kind of funny.
Okay. I'm sure you know. I'll trust what you say.
Yeah.
Send your letters and emails to Chris Grody,
His mom's probably gonna kill me.
KJFM.com.
He's a good kid. I'm just saying he's funny.
Everson drives back. He's going to throw that same deep ball. Almost picked up. Oh, my goodness. They're going to call a pass interference again as the safety came over and nearly picked that off. That was Drew Dalton. And they're going to call pass interference again. That seems to be their popular call tonight on Eli Grody.
Yeah, I don't and like you said, Drew Dalton from the safety position gets over there, gets both hands on the ball, just can't hang on to it. And then they throw the flag after he almost picks it off. I don't know. Wouldn't that be a non-catchable ball at that point?
You'd have thought, yeah.
That's their 4th pass interference call against Bowling Green tonight.
Yes, so
that's crazy, isn't it? I'm glad you spoke, Station, because the ambulance is here. I'm thinking they might have thought you were dead, but you're okay.
You're doing good.
Oh, yeah. I'm just letting the veterans do the talking. I'm just speaking in there when I can.
On first down in Bowling Green territory, Dotson gets Bradley
right in the chest.
Yeah.
He did get popped. Good sportsmanship. That was big number 42 that time.
That was
Brandenburger.
Yeah, Bryson Brandenburger.
Woo, he popped in. Man, Dotson has taken a couple of
And number
hits.
50, Caleb Grody, the freshman.
Is that one of yours too?
All of the Grodys here are related, Jim.
Well, I know that. I remember I lived here for a bit.
Yes.
Grody's, Twelman's, Niemeyer's.
I claim them all.
Claim them all?
I claim them all.
That's safest, I guess.
Yep.
Loss of 2 on the carry. It's 2nd and 12 back in Mark Twain territory at the 49. Epperson out of the shotgun. 3-step drop.
Panic.
Under pressure. Now he's going to heave it deep, and it's going to be way overthrown and intercepted. Intercepted by Dalton. He's on the move up the sideline. Now he cuts up to the middle, looks for some blocking. He's got some space. Cuts inside, and now they'll tackle him at about the 30-yard line. He intercepted that ball at about the 20, so that'd be 30, 40, 50-plus yards on the return.
And a flag in the middle of the field.
Surely it's not pass interference, right?
If it is, I'm going home.
We're going to hope that's on the run back. So we'll see. Oh, and Maddie chimes in. You've been wrong before. Okay. We need to turn her volume up. We might need a female voice to calm this group down a little bit.
Oh, she's a bully.
So let's see what the call is. The officials are still thinking about it. It's holding against Mark Twain and a block in the back against Bowling Green. Offset, so they're going to wipe out the interception. One of them's a post-possession penalty, isn't it?
Don't the flags offset each?
What was it?
I mean, I'm not a rules guy here, but
He's calling an offset, but the block in the back was after the change of possession.
Coach is going to get him.
Yeah, they're going to have a conversation
I'm
about this with Coach.
100% sure that those are offsetting penalties.
I'm not either. I would have. Well, again, I haven't refereed football for 40 years, so I'm not going to.
40 years?
Yeah, I was in my 20s.
just for the record, Chris, I'm only 35.
Okay, the old man jokes come out. I deserve that, I guess. I'll take that like a man.
I speak, and he doesn't like it when I speak. All right. No, take it.
Okay, act like you're dead the rest of the night.
Just want you to know, I tried to make that old man joke kind of, covered a little bit, undercover. You just threw it right out there.
You just poked me right in the eyes.
That's right, yeah.
So they're still thinking about this.
I don't know how long these guys have been
It's got to be.
They've been around a long time.
But Mark Sinclair has been around a long time as well, and he certainly knows football rules and penalties.
Yeah, you sent me the officials. I forgot to mention those guys. Jim Jeffries, Matt Schromick, Kevin Patrick, Dalton Armentrout, and Scott Long. So I recognize a few of those names. So they've been around a bit.
No, they know what they're doing. Yeah,
This isn't their first rodeo, that's for sure. But they're still trying to decide if you're offsetting or not. Any bets?
No.
Nobody's betting.
Nope.
Okay, the bet game's over with, folks.
No, we'll find one that I'm sure about. Then I'll take a bet.
I don't think they know for sure.
I agree with you. The holding penalty would apply to the end of the run. The block in the back would apply after the play is over.
Well, the holding penalty would have occurred during the pass.
Correct.
And then the block in the back would have been on the run back after the interception. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. They're still thinking about it.
Well, they don't.
It looks like Bowling Green's going to end up with the ball, though.
When at this point they have no idea where Bowling Green had the ball here.
Well, they didn't have it there. Well, they're marking off a penalty against Bowling Green, I think. They still haven't shown whose ball it is.
So Bowling Green is going to take over at
the
spot
of the turnover.
Maybe?
That's what it looks like.
Don't know how that worked, but
I don't think the refs know how.
Well, last week at South Callaway, they had a inadvertent whistle that took away a 35-yard touchdown run against Bowling Green.
Well, if we have any football officials listening or watching, I should say, maybe
text
us what that rule is, because
Jim Ross at 5'7".
we do not know. So Bowling Green, after all that, Bowling Green has the football. Looks like Eskew's still in at quarterback. He'll run on the option, and he'll pick up 7 or 8. He had Dunn in the backfield with him that time, and I believe a young running back.
You know, if the clock was running during that discussion, this quarter probably would be over.
Right. I think Colin Cow was in the backfield with him.
Oh, really?
Now in comes, looks like Nate Mix.
Number 21.
Yeah. And maybe a new quarterback in
if it's
Isaac Oberhaus.
Isaac Oberhaus is the kind of backup quarterback, JV quarterback for Bowling Green.
That's who it is. So some of the JV guys coming in now, hand it off to Easton North. Ooh, and there's a big hit by Mark Twain on Easton North. That's Hunter Miller doing the damage for Mark Twain.
They picked him up. Good sportsmanship from the team.
Well, after a couple unsportsmanlike penalties, all of a sudden they're helping each other up.
Yeah.
Do you think there was a little conversation at half from the respective coaching staffs, boys?
Can you tell me the quarterback one more time?
Isaac Oberhaus, number 6.
Yeah, your stat sheet's going to be blown up. You might as well forget it from now on. You'll never be able to keep up with all this.
Well, you're not to tell me twice.
I'm telling you, I've tried it. Orv up the middle once again, and he'll have first down yardage.
Pretty easy, yeah.
It just gives me a chance to talk more often just to make Jim upset.
No, I'm good with you talking. That's not a problem. You need to lay off that old man stuff, but
I say pour it on.
Pour it on.
I say pour it.
58-0. Speaking of pouring it on, Bowling Green's up. Clock continuously running now, down to 4:40. We're still in the third, however, because we had that little 10-minute time of la-la land while the officials tried to figure out what that penalty was, or 2 penalties were. And Bowling Green's got some young guys in. They'll run out of the split back, hand it off or pitched on a sweep to Orff that time, and not a lot of room.
That was to Jordan Pasley.
Oh, yeah, he's came in.
Yep, Jordan Pasley comes in. He runs a little upright for my liking. I'd like to see him get a little more lean into his run and show a little bit more power.
He's not a Dickerson yet? Is that what you're saying?
Not yet. He is not. Not yet. He's got the potential, though.
Oh, yeah, loss of 2. And how old is he? I'm searching for.
He is a junior. Ball's on the ground. Isaac picked that up. Bad exchange on the center.
But Bowling Green will keep it. Oberhaus at quarterback comes over to the sideline and he'll get the play on 3rd and 12.
Jordan is a sophomore.
Nate Mix, a junior who's in. Paisley, a sophomore.
Nate's a pretty good athlete, too. He ran the ball for us in youth football. It was amazing how he could run the ball, but he wanted to be a receiver.
Easton North back in as well. They'll hand it to him.
Contact, bounces out.
And not a lot of room. New offensive line in, too. So, you put the JV in, and there's a flag on the play. Against the varsity defense, those guys find out how much different it is than playing against JV guys.
Well, it's like you said in your basketball experience. The game is so much faster at the varsity level that you don't realize until you're in the middle of it.
Right.
And it's that way in every sport. Basketball, football, softball, it's just like, holy cow, what just hit me?
Penalties against Bowling Green, they decline it. So it's 4th and 15. Yeah, and as you're playing in practice, those JV guys are going, I can play this. I can do this. Well, the varsity guys are going, but they are going full bore in practice. Let's be serious, especially this time of year in 11-on-11 stuff. And then when they get in the game for real, it's like, whoa.
Oh, look at Isaac.
Isaac's going to roll it out. He throws it. It's picked off. Picked off by Mark Twain at the 47-yard line by Landon Amore. And he'll bring it into Bowling Green territory at the 46 of Bowling Green. And Mark Twain will take over right there. So the first turnover of the night for the Cats.
So that interception was better than, say, an incomplete because they didn't get the ball at the line of scrimmage. They could take over at, like you said, the 46-yard line.
And they stopped the clock. I'm not sure why. I thought it stopped on
Nope.
scores.
It's still going. It's still going.
He just rewound it.
Yeah, he did rewind it. That clock job sucks, man.
Everybody's
mad at you. Everybody's always yelling at
Well,
you.
I'm not sure what's worse, the clock or the camera guy.
Ooh, shots fired again.
You know what? I like you just being quiet now.
Hand off to the tailback, who's back in the game. That's Eli Tobin. Positive yards for Eli. Looks like they'll give him about 5.
You know, we're talking
Over 4.
earlier about JV to varsity. I'm just wondering what Brian's going to think next year when he steps on that D1 football field for the first time in practice.
It's kind of the same thing.
I'm sure his eyes are going to be big the first time he gets popped by a junior or senior. You know,
it's supersized speed difference.
Yes.
Though, instead
I
of
don't know.
just
His brother didn't go to D1, but went to college, is playing ball, and he's beating up upperclassmen pretty regularly. So I think
he's playing D3 though, isn't he?
Yeah, I think
is
that's
it
correct.
Monmouth or
Monmouth, yep.
yeah. So on 2nd and 6, Epperson hands it off to Tobin again. He'll have first down yardage across the 35 down to about the 32. 58-0 our score. Bowling Green leads it. Continuous clock. We're in the third quarter, under a minute to play here in the third. Let's see if they get another playoff. They don't have to run another play if they don't want.
Louisiana's trailing Montgomery County 14-35 in the third quarter, end of the third quarter.
So that turned around quite a bit, didn't it?
Yes.
On first down, Epperson takes the snap, hands it off to Tobin up the middle, and he gets hit immediately at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to do it for the third quarter, or it should. Nobody's going to call a timeout. So Bowling Green, as we head to the fourth, they lead it 58-0 over Mark Twain. You're listening to KJFM WBBA Sports.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by All Parts, Kayla Caldwell, certified financial planner with Edward Jones, and Ann Lane Boutique.
This is Tara Grody, and People's Savings Bank is excited to announce the Bobcat debit card. People's Savings Bank believes in giving back to the communities we serve, and that begins with the school district. Every time you use your Bobcat debit card as a credit, People's Savings Bank will give the school district 5 cents. That may not sound like a lot of money, but since starting this program 6 years ago, PSB has been able to give back over $120,000. Open an account online at ourpsb.com or stop by our branch. We are the one with a bright blue roof. Start earning the Bowling Green School District money today just by using your debit card. Member FDIC.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock agent, Perkins Electrical Services, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
We head to the fourth quarter, 58-0, Bowling Green on top. They will go to 7-0 on the season. Bunch of young guys getting in some action tonight here for the Cats, which has kind of been a recurring theme, especially the last 2 or 3 weeks. Mark Twain still has it, however. 2nd and 10 from the Bowling Green 33. Pass is a swing pass to Mark St. Clair.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit high. Basically, quarterback Epperson turns to throw that ball here to his slot receiver, and it was over his head by about 10 foot, and he couldn't get to it. It almost, to me, looked like a double pass kind of, but
might have been, yeah.
Their receivers were running go routes.
So it falls incomplete, makes it third down. We mentioned it's a running clock here in the second half. It's like a new quarterback maybe in. No, it's still Epperson.
It's a new one.
It is a new one.
3.
They hand it off to a new running back, Justin Berchtold, as Wyatt Briscoe was the quarterback, and we've got a holding penalty on the play. They look to the sidelines. They'll decline that. It'll make it 4th and 10.
Tanner McGaw in on that tackle for Bowling Green. It's had him a couple pretty good games here the last few weeks.
It is fun for the JV guys to get in, though, and learn. And not only fun, very productive for your program.
You know, we were watching in the warm-ups earlier before the game, and I noticed Mark Twain's quarterback that's in now, the backup, seems to have a better arm than
Epperson?
the starter. Yeah,
Really?
than Epperson. Yeah.
And here comes a jailbreak by the defense, and Briscoe is going to be sacked for the loss. They brought everybody. I mean, everybody. 7 guys on the rush that time. And they'll sack Briscoe all the way back at the Bowling Green 46-yard line, and that's where the Cats will take over with their first series in the fourth quarter, leading 58-0.
Easton Orff in on that
offense going.
Watch. His feet never stop moving.
We're going to see right here. They hand it off to him out of the tailback position. Not a lot of room. He'll pick up some positive yards, though. Looks like about 2, maybe 3.
As a young kid in youth football, he was real good about ping-ponging ball off of like every defender before he finally decided to run forward.
Is the youth football still going?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yep. Oh, I don't know if they're still playing at this point, but it is.
But they're still the program's still going.
Yeah, the program is still going. Yes.
Will they do play it early in the fall?
I think so.
So 2 yards is what they're going to give on the carry by Buffington.
Lost the ball again.
And we're having trouble with the snap. Second fumble.
Early. Right, your first job as the quarterback is to get the ball.
Right.
Your second job as the quarterback is then to get away from the line of scrimmage.
Right.
He's like, yes, sir, yes, sir. He's a good kid.
Very good advice. You act like you played it sometime.
I played a little.
Clock continues to run down to 8:20, 58-0 if you're just tuning in. A lot of action for the Cats offensively in that first half. A scoop and score, a halfback pass for touchdown. It was quite entertaining. On third down, Mark Twain brings everybody, and they hand it off up the middle to Jordan Paisley that time. He'll drag a couple defenders across midfield with him.
Yeah, he's pretty strong running back. You know, he gets the ball and he gets running. It's going to take a couple guys to bring Jordan down. But he's got to get more into that, you know, power running position to help himself in the future.
Well, especially in a crowd like that, you know, you got to square your pads up and hit somebody to get away from him. He picked up about 3, so it's 4th and 4 for Bowling Green. And confusion on
Gary
the
Welch.
snap is Welch. He's going to move forward and make something out of nothing and going to have a first down. Gary Welch, a freshman. So his first play from scrimmage tonight is good for about, 5, 6 maybe?
They got 3 quarterbacks on the roster?
It's good for a first down.
Well, at this point, you
got 6.
Find somebody that can take the snap, right? Number 1.
Gary's listed as a running back and a
Right,
linebacker, but
right.
I think they've got him in at quarterback.
Well, he took that snap for sure.
Isaac has switched out to wide receiver.
And he is still at quarterback. Now hand it off right tackle right up the gut. Ooh, a little shot of speed there by, was that Buffington again? I think it was.
Looked like
8.
I like that play because Gary at quarterback turns and gives the ball to Chase up front, and then he goes and makes a block on a guy that really doesn't. It's like, you're the quarterback, dude. Give the ball to somebody and get away.
Same play. Now it's an option and kept by Welch that time on the fake handoff up the middle, and he'll be just shy of the first down. Picks up about 1.
This is great experience for Gary in at quarterback as a freshman.
Oh, man.
But a game that he has 0 chance to cause any major grief on. He can get good playtime experience, and next year he's a sophomore. So.
Right. Yeah, a lot of new guys in for Mark Twain on defense. So basically a JV game broke out.
Uh-oh, trouble.
He ran the option and got around right in that time.
See, that was option the whole way.
Yeah, Welch with a nice carry for first down. Moves the chains. Second time he's rushed for a first down on his first series in the game at quarterback.
I don't want to say they're tipping plays, but it looks like the wideout goes out to the outside immediately after the huddle, and it's been a run play every single time.
Now you're going to make us watch, aren't you?
I can't imagine they're going to throw at this
Oh,
point.
I wouldn't think so. Of course, it doesn't matter with the running clock. It's not like you're going to stop the clock. So
Here goes the wide out.
If you want to wing one, I formation to the tailback. Oh, now some running room that time. Chase breaks attack across the 20.
Still going. Look at him.
Oh, he's going to get
He's gone.
You guys watched him. He bounced off a couple guys. His feet are running the whole time. He's always pushing down the field. I love watching that kid run the football. Now,
You should have been over at that Pittsfield game that me and him did, because they did nothing but side to side.
Oh, really?
I know, it's crazy. New kicker in, sidewind, Bennett Hickerson.
Bennett Hickerson. He's a freshman.
That was pretty solid. Had some lift to it, right down central.
He played a lot of soccer as a young man.
That served him well. 4:36 to play in the game. It's all Bowling Green, 65-0 on KJFM WBBA Sports.
MASH.
I'm Tylee Mills, the CEO of Pike County Memorial Hospital. You've heard it from your friends, family, and even neighbors. They choose Pike County Memorial Hospital. Quality care from
Follow area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Veolia Landscape Supply, Royal Banks, and a taste of Philly.
Cats, brilliant showing for them tonight. And let's see what kind of leg he's got from his own 40. It's a pop-up hooch kick caught at the 35-yard line by an upback. Out to about the 45. I believe that was Tanner Engel on the run back. And Mark Twain will take over on their own 45-yard line. Again, Bowling Green in action next week. They'll make the trek down to Warren County in Wright City. Or is that St. Charles County? No, I think that's actually in Warren County.
I think it is.
Just barely. And they've got a couple of good football players, so we'll see what Bowling Green does to stop them next week.
Oh!
Heave pass and another pass interference call. Are you serious?
Was there contact there?
Briscoe threw the pass. He threw it for all he was worth. He wound up and heaved it.
That's a good throw.
And it was intended. I think that's number 9, Landon Amore. And it's another pass interference study for Bowling Green to work on, especially with the varsity guys in there.
Called that on Nate Mix.
And they the running backs run into each other, and that was trouble. Mix up in the backfield that time. Actually, Justin Jespering got the football, and then he got a face mask full of 2 Bowling Green defenders immediately. Loss of 2. Be 2nd and 12, down to 2:40 to play in the football game. 65-0. They got their averaging 63.1 on the season. Or the Bobcats. On 2nd down, Briscoe at quarterback. Takes the snap. He'll throw it out to the flat and off the fingertips the intended receiver, Justin Berkthold.
Isaac Oberhaus defending from his DB position.
He was going to be hit immediately by Oberhaus.
Isaac looked a little upset with himself. He didn't come away with the ball, but
So it's 3rd down for the Tigers. They will host South Callaway next week at Mark Twain. If you haven't been up to Mark Twain, they've done a lot of work on their facilities the last couple of years.
They sure have.
Still a grass field. Most of the teams in EMO are all grass fields, except with the exception of South Callaway, I believe. And Briscoe's going to keep it and run around left in, and he'll pick up positive yardage, about 7, be knocked out at the 35-yard line, and it'll be 4th down. That's interesting, you know, how all the Clarence Cannon Conference schools, almost all of them, I think the only 2 schools don't have turf now are Centralia, the perennial power, and Brookfield, because they still play downtown in the old stadium down there. But everybody else has gone to turf. in the CCC, and nobody has turf with the exception of South Carolina. And they were one of the first schools around to have turf. The old nuke plant money helps that out, I guess.
There seems to be a big push for turf fields, and yes, it gives you a bunch more stuff to do for the school-wise, but I don't know.
I don't like it safety-wise.
Injury-wise, it's more problematic for sure. Briscoe, 31 seconds.
Surely they're just going to wind the clock here.
I didn't know the clock stopped on change of possession. I thought it kept going.
I think it's supposed to stop on scores.
Nope, the clock's running.
But the play clock under 2 minutes goes to 25 seconds instead of 40. So Bowling Green's looks like they're going to have to run one play. Nope, they haven't cranked the clock yet. So now they won't have to run a play.
And I think there's no need to do it. Surely the White Hat's telling them, just go to the sidelines.
Yeah, I think the White Hat stalled. Very good refereeing there. don't set that ball until you absolutely have to, which would be after 25 seconds are left on the game clock. So it continues to run down 3-2-1, and Bowling is going to win it. They'll raise their record to 7-0. They win it 65-0 over Mark Twain. The postgame show's next on KJFM WBBA Sports.
The Eagle 102 postgame show is coming up.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Royal Banks is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A Royal Bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks bring experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal opportunity lender.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Now a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana. Time now for the Eagle 102 postgame show on KJFM.
Welcome back to Bowling Green High School. Jim Ross, Chris Grody, Stacey Martin, and Maddie Ingram here from Bowling Green High School. And it's been all Bobcats tonight as they win 65-0 in this EMO conference matchup over the Mark Twain Tigers. And guys, they a little bit slow out of the gate with that first drive, but then it was pedal to the metal from that point forward.
Yeah, and I don't know that, to be honest with you, Jim, I don't know that that's not necessarily planned in a game like this. You know who your opponent is coming into the game. Bowling Green doesn't have to come out as high-powered as they are. Maybe keep the ball in the middle of the field a little bit more and then start to spread it out as the game goes on. Just kind of to keep some of these other teams guessing at your – yeah.
Work on what you're not good at, or what you don't think you're very good at early on. And then, at some point in time, though, talent just takes over and there's not much a coach can do, which is actually a good thing.
Well, I don't want to assume anything, but it looked like, maybe Bowling Green wasn't quite fired up, because, I'm not trying to be mean to Mark Twain, but they haven't had the season that Mark Twain has wanted. I'm sure if Bowling Green went and played a rivalry, they'll be fired up, scoring from the get-go like they have been all year. But like we said, after the first series of going, Bowling Green kind of got their click going, and they were off to the races and, took care of business pretty much after the first quarter, really.
Yeah, and I don't see – even though we've mentioned Wright City's got some players, I don't see Bowling Green being challenged until, probably the championship game of the district.
Chris Stewart said, in some of his podcasts and some of his highlights, that he said Bowling Green looks like when he's comparing Bowling Green and South Shelby because those are the two winning football teams right now. He says Bowling Green is the better team on paper, but you don't play football games on paper.
Right.
And that's important to take away. Bowling Green is a good football team. They show many talented players in many different spots on both sides of the ball, but they can't go into the playoffs assuming that they're going to kick everybody's tail, because that's when you get your tail kicked.
Right.
Not ready for it. So they need to go in game planning. And Aiden is on this team, so I talk to Dude, every day after practice. And the game planning that they do every day, every week is very interesting to me, because sure our coaches had a game plan, but they sure in the hell didn't include us
right.
in what they were in.
Right.
And they include these kids a lot, and it's neat talking to them about how they're going through some of that planning.
Well, and talking about district and how that's going to shake out, we had a little discussion about it off the air. We don't want to get too far into the weeds with the listeners, but Bowling Green is the top rated team. It's a point system. They've got 51.3 points, and South Shelby's got 51. But strength of schedule, the next two games will fall in favor of South Shelby. So it'll be interesting to see if South Shelby wins out. Now they've got a monumental challenge against Centralia next week.
Right.
Whereas Bowling Green's got Wright City and North Calla, which, conventional wisdom is those are going to be wins. And it doesn't matter anymore if you win 65-0 or 35-0. There's a 13-point bracket that's all you get credit for in this Road Scholar formula that the state's got to figure this out, And so it'll be interesting to see if South Shelby would beat Centralia, what happens after that week in the playoff scoring system.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. But yeah, because
as a dad, I understand.
Yeah, because as a dad of a kid on this football team, that doesn't go in Bowling Green's favor, and it seems like it's like every year there's odd.
You mean like going back to Higginsville and back to playoff years?
Yeah.
I never did
Lafayette
figure that
County. Yeah.
Let's take our final break of the night. We'll come back and give you some scores from around the area and get out of here. You're listening to KJFM WBBA Sports.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Bib Veach and Collier Funeral Homes, Calumet of Missouri, and Kearns Construction.
Ingram Plumbing has always been known for its outstanding plumbing service, but did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling
The
Green.
Mercantile Bank of Louisiana is introducing Merc BK Mobile with the ability to take a picture of your check and deposit it into your Mercantile Bank account. You'll never have to worry about getting to the bank. Find more information by visiting mercbk.com. The Mercantile Bank, located on the corner of 3rd and Georgia Streets in downtown Louisiana. Member FDIC.
On every journey, you should enjoy peace of mind. I'm Corey Buchanan at Pike County Mutual Insurance Company. We take pride in keeping you protected. That's why we offer discounts for good students, safe driving, and more. Trust us to look out for the road ahead. For a free insurance quote on your home, auto, farm, or ATV needs, give myself or
Shelley Glucky
a call today. Pike County Mutual Insurance Company, on the square in Bowling Green.
The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Pike County Health Department, People's Savings Bank, and All Parts.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
Well, let's run down some scores for you. Montgomery County leads Louisiana 35-14 in the fourth quarter. Van Far, they get their second win of the season as they defeat Crystal City 14-8. Other scores of interest maybe to you. Hannibal leads Mobley 28-8. That's in the fourth quarter, and all these games should be in the fourth quarter as we were ahead with the running clock. North Shelby over St. Paul in an 8-man game 62-19. Brookfield trails Monroe City 42-20. Quincy over Sterling 35-27. That game's closer than a lot of people thought. Clark County over Palmyra 26-6. Notre Dame of Quincy 48-6 over St. Teresa of Decatur. Bramer 44-36 over Paris, who went to 8-man football this year. And South Shelby beat Macon 42-0. Centralia defeated Highland 43-0. Calhoun defeated Pleasant Hill 42-0. And Stacy, I thought we had a Pittsfield score.
It was 27-13 in favor of Auburn.
Okay, thank you for that. Gentlemen, your final thoughts tonight, Stacy?
No, I mean, not really.
No, you don't have any final thoughts?
No, I mean, no, it was just, all I got to say is that Bowling Green, knew what they had to do. They came in, they did it. They won pretty handedly. I don't know really what else to say. They just did what they had to do.
Bring on next week, right, Chris?
Yeah, Bowling Green, I think, has got a little bit of a tougher challenge next week. I just don't think there's a lot of teams that match up. But, of course, any given Friday, right, any given Sunday, however you want to word it, that JV game was a squeak-by win for Bowling Green. That always not always, but most times kind of leads to where your varsity team is going to play. But I just think that this Bowling Green Bobcat team is as good as the team last year, and Bowling Green's competition is going to come into the playoff. They're going to see tougher teams in the playoff. And that Lutheran St. Charles game, I think, is going to be a holding stone for these guys to say, hey, not only do we win that game, but we were down at one point, we stayed ahead, and then we blew them away in the second half. So Bowling Green knows they can do it.
And for us from Bowling Green, I want to thank Maddie, Chris, Stason, and who's at the station? Brendan at the station. Your final score here from Bowling Green tonight: Bowling Green 65, Mark Twain nothing. This is Jim Ross saying so long till next week.
You've been listening to Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Join us each week as we bring you the best of area high school sports on air at 102.1, online at kjfmradio.com, and on the KJFM radio app. You can find a full recap of scores online and daily during Eagle 102 Sports, all from your area sports leader, KJFM Radio.